joint right here is for the mind. Some shit you gotta smoke to. Non-stop.
As long as I remember, all I've longed for is you. You have consumed the mind of every man I ever knew. You have been my muse since that lady sang the blues. Since a baby I've been chasing what so many tend to lose. My love is unconditional, yet you refuse to choose. Projecting your rejections, leave reflections on the moon. We're doomed, trapped beneath the shadow in a battle with the tomb. My flesh was taken from me when the needle touched the spoon. Addicted to your vindictiveness, conscious of where the pistol is. This lust is so ridiculous, complicated and intricate. Love is insignificant, the way that you diminish it. Hearts upon platters, jab the knife in it and finish it. The words you use when whispering, no truth in it, just moving lips. An ocean full of sinking ships, hypnosis when you wave your hips. This is just too dangerous to play with this crazy bitch will wrap you around her finger, make it yours and have you chasing it. I'm in love to hate you, that's just what you make. You just push me till I break, pull me close to make me chase you. So close that I can taste you, face you, touch you, break you, love you. We've been cursed to want you one way or the next. Alive or dead, we're forced to let me love to hate you. That's just what you make. You just push me till I break, pull me close to make me chase you. So close that I can taste you, face you, touch you, break you, love you. We've been cursed to want you one way or the next. Alive or dead, we're forced to let go of you. She gon' take your whole life if you don't read between those lines. One hint of inconsistency and she'll be gone a long time. To get her back's a bitter bitch. See, she got her own mind. Not one for commitment, cut you quick, don't cross the drawn line. Read the fine print, your mind slip. She'll get you with the slow wine. A game slip, you lose your shit. She'll get you in your gold mine. Don't hate her, it's her nature. You ain't shit if you don't chase her. She won't stay if you don't make her. You want her, you can't shake her. She okay with or without you. Success don't care for your pain. No sympathy or compassion. You earn it no other way. You get it or let it go. Chase after it or you don't. Failure isn't an option. Without it, your life's a joke. May as well start digging and just call into the hole. If you're not ready for rejection or learn not to take a no, it's over for your soul. Your chances all been blown. No one had to help you. You did it on your own. I'm in love to hate you. That's just what you make. You just push me till I break. Pull me close to make me chase you. So close that I can taste you, face you, touch you, break you, love you. We've been cursed to want you one way or the next. Alive or dead, we're forced to let go. I'm in love to hate you. That's just what you make. You just push me till I break. Pull me close to make me chase you. So close that I can taste you, face you, touch you, break you, love you. We've been cursed to want you one way or the next. Alive or dead, we're forced to let go of you. Exclusive, so envying is useless. That jealousy is ugly. The smell of it is putrid. She find it unattractive. You gon' end up on the boot list, begging for forgiveness, but she won't see through you stupid. She has seen it all before she understand the blueprint. Well versed in every line of lies from soapbox to the pulpit. She's yours if you could keep her. Enough with all the bullshit. Excuses ain't about nothing. Take much more than that to pull this. There's evil men just waiting around to fill your chest with bullets. Solely over this woman, she'll make you out as the villain. Take you out for a killing, cause men that love her are willing to open you up and overflow that cup with the blood that you're spilling. Mind your step, dodge regret, follow your gut when you feel it. You control the whip, both hands on the wheel when you steer it. I hope you hear it, or you gon' give a body your spirit. You give your last breath to just get near it. I'm in love to hate you, that's just what you make. You just push me till I break, pull me close to make me chase you. So close that I can taste you, face you, touch you, break you, love you. We've been cursed to want you one way or the next. Alive or dead, we're forced to let go. I'm in love to hate you, that's just what you make. You just push me till I break, pull me close to make me chase you. So close that I can taste you, face you, touch you, break you, love you. We've been cursed to want you one way or the next. Alive or dead, we're forced to let go of you. Salute, salute, salutes. And welcome back to Sha Ill Reacts. I am your host, Sha Ill, and we are back at it like bad habits. Welcome everybody back. I'm glad to have you. I missed you guys. It's a nice Saturday afternoon. It's frigid out in Chicago, but the sun is shining. Hope everybody's having a great day. Smoke them if you got them. We're here to hang out for a while. Y'all know what it is. It's been an eventful week. Very busy. A lot of editing going down. A lot of getting the Twins content going down. I know a lot of you guys missed the live stream we had on Super Bowl Sunday with the Twins. It was an impromptu thing that just developed all of a sudden, and YouTube ain't the best at sending out notifications. Nonetheless, everybody came through on the replay. Everybody came through on the edits and watched those videos. As y'all can see, the channel's moving forward. There's a lot of growth going on. So much love and salute to all the new subscribers in the building, the new viewers in the building. If you're a viewer right now and not a subscriber, I ask that you hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, hit the notification bell so they let you know when we go live, because you never know what's going to happen here. Anything can happen anytime. All right, salutes to the chat. The chat is in on the check-in already. Couple of the usual suspects in the building. Perfecto J777, salutes to you. Old Soul, as always, salutes to you. Humble Beast, salutes. JP the Ghost, salutations. Ill Gang, salutations to you, sir. Salutes. Hope everybody's having a good day once again. Today we got a special show. He'll be joining us in a little bit. Damien Cash. Damien Cash, for those that don't know, is a part of the whole saga we've been covering on this channel for the last year. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get into that in a minute. Let's get through the housekeeping. Salutes Julio Cardenas in the chat. Much love, Shy Ill from Houston. Love your podcast. Much love to the Cuates, the twins Peter and Jay, JC, Damien Cash. Much love for Chirac, resident from 26th Street. Salutes to you. Appreciate you being here, Julio. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate your presence. We're going to hang out today. I'm glad y'all with me. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all here. Again, get into the housekeeping. We do not have Power Chat today. Power Chat is down for the day. Power Chat has those problems sometimes. But we do have Super Thanks. We do have Super Stickers. And all that good stuff. We got Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, all of those places that you could donate if you want to support the channel on that level. If you rather not support the channel on that level or cannot support the channel on that level, the least you could do is hit that thumbs up. We appreciate the thumbs up around here. It helps us keep things moving forward so that we can keep things moving forward. Again, Jonathan Pantoja, one of the usual suspects on the check-in. Salute, Sha'il. Congratulations on all of your hard work paying off. You deserve it. Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. The work is never done. The work is always moving forward. At the end of the day, you can get that stack of paperwork down to this right here, and the next morning it's going to be up here, but that's what I'm here for. I'm here to do the job. So, it is what it is. Again, appreciation to you guys for being here. I'm going to be doing a couple of things in the foreground and background up until we get Damien Cash in here. All right, boom. Boom. Let me go up in here. All right, I'm in the private chat. I'll be in the private chat waiting for him for the check-in. I'll talk to y'all. Shout out 030 North, one of the usual suspects in the building. Sorry I'm late. Don't worry. We're always on time. We're good. We're here. We're chilling. There's always a playback. So once there's a playback, you can always catch up. All right. New news in the world that we cover. They hit Mayo with another indictment on the F word. That dust that turns you to dust. But I don't know what another indictment does, for the United States government getting a hold of him. To me, that's like throwing pebbles at a giant. So, it is what it is. You guys have been showing up. There's a lot of people in the comment section lately. I see a lot of y'all coming to the defense of the channel. I see a lot of y'all getting into conversations with people in the comments. I appreciate that. Engagement is an important thing on this channel. It's something that I encourage. If y'all respectfully talk with each other about the subject and what we're doing, it's the same way we want to do when we get in the Discord. You know what I'm saying? If you join the Discord, again, let me put up the Discord link for you people that are not in the Discord that would like to join our Discord. Every now and then, for a couple of minutes after the live, we'll go in there and chat a little bit and talk about the day's subject. Let me throw this link out here for y'all in the chat. Here we go. Here's the Discord invite link right here for y'all. Enjoy that. A bit more on the housekeeping side. We have the sponsor of this show, the Ill Shop. We're going to drop that in the chat as well. If we go to the shop itself, we got a couple of new little logos up there. We I'm working on another one, but we got a usual suspects lineup here. See that logo right there? Boom. Usual suspects. All right? Usual suspects, different color combinations, hoodies, hats, cups, all of the good stuff. Of course, we got the Il Cartel as well. We got the No Pillow Talk uh, pillow cover for the young hustler in your life that you want to remind to keep his mouth shut and say nothing. You know what I mean? All right, so y'all can check out the Il Shop. The link is in the chat right there. Il Cartel apparel. Boom. Different color combos. Right? And for the boss of the backyard and metal of the man cave in your life, we got the El Wapo, not to be mistaken with El Chapo. El Wapo barbecue apron. All right? For the Wapo, the metal of the man cave. All right, so that's another sponsor of our channel right there. Boom. And let me do a double check in here. All right. Give me 1 sec, y'all. Go into this. All right. Let me see if Damien Cash is ready, and we'll get straight to it. See if I can send a link to this. Also, we have other channels. We have other playlists on the channel. Cartel Wives in its entirety. We cover Cartel Wives, the entire book, 34 chapters. They are all in a playlist that I just linked in the live chat. Go Bucks. Salutes to Go Bucks on the check-in. He said this content should be jumping. Jay was right. They're hating on your boy. YouTube might be hating on your boy. We see. I'm gonna keep moving forward. See what they're talking about. I go to war with YouTube. I'm about, I need a little bit of time, but I'm about ready to drop a video on their ass about how they scamming everybody out of their bread and their views and all of the above. Jonathan Pantoja said the Discord where it's at after the content. JP the Ghost says slowly but surely it's only a come up from here, Shy. Absolutely, bro. We're gonna keep it moving. For those that don't know. Hold on, let me go in here. He's in the general, boom. For those that don't know, I haven't put out a blast yet, but next week, Saturday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, we will have JC from Wrong to Strong on the show, so we doubling up, all right? We got Damien Cash today, and then next week, Saturday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, we're going to have JC Wrong to Strong in the building. So he could tell us his story as well, and let's get our perspective put down on it. I appreciate it. It's been a good look. The twins looked out. Damien Cash reached out to JC. You've seen them pop up in the chat before, and we're just trying to keep the content moving and keep everything popping. Let's see here. Make sure he sees the private channel. Julio Cardenas said, God bless everyone on this chat. I wish and pray nothing but the blessings. Salutes to you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 sec. This is a phone. All right, y'all. I'm getting Damien Cash set up in the Discord, and I'll be right
Firm. Okay. Can can you hear me? Okay. Can they see me, or how do I know what they're looking at? Okay, where do I put the camera up though on here? Oh, right here underneath? Can you see me now? Alright, we're good.
All right, y'all. We got that figured out. I had to send them the invite. It all happens on the fly around here. Appreciate y'all for holding on with me. Y'all staying strong. Hit that like button. We are in the building. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Tell your friends, tell your foes, tell them over here almost anything goes. The little channel that wish you would. We are excited today. We got another follow up interview this week. And this week we're in it with another part of the story. Another part of the story that you guys have heard of before. He's a man that's touched the music scene in Chicago, and he's a man that's touched the notorious cartel scene in Chicago. And we're here to talk about all of it. So if y'all give me the love, give me the same respect that you give that. I mean, the same respect that you give me, same love you give me, give it to him. I want to welcome the big homie Damien Cash into the Shy Ill Reacts universe. Hello, hello, hello.
What's up? What's up, Shail? How you doing, brother?
What's poppin', man? How are you?
Nothing much. I guess this has been long overdue. We've been meaning to do this for a while.
Very long overdue, very long overdue. Everybody says they can hear you clearly in the chat, so that's beautiful. Long overdue indeed, bro. Maybe decades. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes. Yeah, for sure.
Maybe
I
decades.
know we've never really crossed paths, but we have a lot of like connections in the music, like Nonstop, and I'm sure like Boogie, and all of the legendary music people, and that's I think like my focus here, right? I was making money, like I mean, obviously not Twin or Cato money, but I was doing pretty well for myself. I was making a cool mill every year off of mixtapes for a good 3 or 4 year run. So I was somebody that was established, and kind of that's where the crosshairs of this all meets, right? Is music and the streets. They always have like they're like cousins.
Absolutely.
So that's what got me around a lot of these guys, and beyond them, I'm known like on every side. Like I'm neutral. I have a lot of ties and have a lot of friends in the mob, but I'm neutral. Money's been green for me on every side, so I've always been able to maneuver everywhere I go. Because of that.
Was that a conscious? I know you grew up in Chicago. You were born here.
Yeah, yeah. Born and raised on the west side on Monticello and Augusta.
Okay.
Raised till like third or fourth grade, like North Avenue in Cicero.
Okay.
But then majority of my life I was raised in like Garfield, Gage Park. You know what I'm saying? So like 55th, Midway area.
Right.
So navigating gang turf, as like, even though I wasn't in gangs,
Was
it
that a
became
conscious
something.
decision? Was that as a young man? We grow up in this city, and it's part of the culture in many ways. And was that a conscious decision of, listen, that's not for me?
Yeah, no, it never really like, I never needed that, like um I was always a relationship person. So it's really like the individual. Like when you think of the big picture here, like I had a direct connection with the Flores brothers. They were friends of mine. We played basketball together. Um, you know, they rocked with me. I had my own money. They had their own money. I had my own cars. They had their own cars, and I was like a peer. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying on their level, but I was somebody that, yo, I share this restaurant with you. Come eat over here. Come eat over there. Obviously, we're talking early on in their startup things. But same thing with Cato. We just gravitated towards the music. We linked on the music tip.
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah. No, because I always wondered that, coming up in the city, like, when you when you're a teenager, there's mad pressures out there. You walking from hood to hood. You're dealing with all this shit in this city, and you know a lot. It's hard for a lot of people to not fall to it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I mean, I was just having a conversation about this with my girls this morning about like the great lengths that parents go to, right? Like my mom was desperate trying to get me into a Catholic school. That didn't work out, so I ended up in public school, but I don't think that that is really the determining factor. I just think that if it's predispositioned in you to look for that, that brotherhood and look for love
right.
in certain places that you don't get at home or you're not getting in life in general, then that's just going to be your life. It just and it's different in the dynamics of every child within every every family, right? Like sometimes marriages fall apart on the second or third kid. The first and second kid, they went off to college, you went to good schools, and then shit falls apart, and then you got to go have you're dealt a different deck of cards. So I just think the way the cards lied, I was around a good bunch of friends in grammar school. Even I was a dancer, and then all through high school I was a tennis player and a DJ. So like my ambitions were different than like street dreams in the beginning. What ends up happening to me is that like as the CD started to dissipate and the CD game or the distribution game that I was heavily in started to decline, in come these group of friends that were very wealthy and affluent in the street business, and it was an easy decision for me to make because it wasn't that hard to attain a connect or attain work or attain trust, or like, oh hey, come work for us, make these rounds, do this, that, and the third, introduce you to this guy, introduce you to that guy, which is where like Peter said, he was the first person that introduced me to Kate. Like that's how it all kind of unraveled. And then it was like music was like the story in the background of everything for this. Like I was actually in the music business. I actually DJ'd. I actually did make money off of music. And the dream was always to have a record label. And then those things kind of like merged and became everyone's ambition as the way out of whatever it is we were doing on the street.
yeah, I think that helps too. I think when a person has something else, a lot of these kids that fall to the trap, they don't have something else, And then there's a lot of us that we find early in life the thing that's ours. And again, for you it was music. For me it was music. Like, at what age did you know like this is what I'm gonna do? This is what I want to do. I want to do music.
Um, I think it was my first love. My uncle was a party promoter, so like since 1986 or 87, I was ripping cellophane tapes open and pumping them in a pull-out radio and just like listening to NWA for the first time and
Yo,
just
that
like
story there, that NWA, that straight out of Compton, that was a big deal for me because I remember, I had a brother that was 10 years older than me, and I remember finding a black cassette that had the paper ripped off of it. You know what I'm saying?
right,
It was
right.
just a indistinct, and I put it in, and that shit said, "You are now
Yeah.
about to witness the strength, the street knowledge." Changed
Yes,
my life
sir.
forever, dog.
I had a dance group and some kids used to get bussed into my dance group, and I was in a predominantly white, then slightly Mexican neighborhood in the South Side. So I would have kids of all colors coming to my garage to practice dance routines and things for parties and talent shows and such. And I didn't quite understand it when I first heard the words fuck the police, F the police. I knew it moved something in me and I knew that there was something right about it. And then like not even a year later, I started to witness what that really meant. Cause I'm walking to my garage where I have my music set up, my dad, my mom, nobody's home yet. I could use the garage up until everyone gets home from work. So I got a couple hours after school to bring my friends over, and they're friends of all colors, right? And they would just stop us, and we're heading to go dance practice. We're not even in a gang. So, it's crazy the emotion that NWA evoked in the hood with those songs, and you're now about to witness the strength. Like you didn't know what that strength
Nah, I
was
didn't know what the
until
hell
like
they was
you
talking
went
about.
through it.
Absolutely. absolutely. You felt it. It was yeah, it was different, different
Yeah.
times.
And I appreciate your show, man, for whatever it is that you're doing and how like neutral you are, but I really am on here. I've been confused as a street person as I was. I'm not saying that I'm not a street person, but I'm rooted in music. That's the beginnings of my hustle is music. I just picked up hustling because it was like the only thing that was parallel to the effect of the money that I was making.
Right.
But I think a lot of people misconstrue me
Eric
and think like, oh,
Saudowski
I'm
just
this,
subscribed on YouTube.
this gangster, or I'm part of the mob, or I'm this, I'm that, I'm the other. I'm just me. I'm just fortunate to have lived a like legendary story, still be alive to tell it, and have met some like whatever, put all the telling aside or everything that goes on. Like, there's not that many people that get to say like, yo, I'm part of that story. Like my friends were involved with. There's not that many people that could say that they were involved with Chapo. You know what I'm saying? There's not that many people that could say like, "Yo, I was the right hand man to a very high ranking Latin king, and we were about to be signed to a multi-million-dollar deal with DreamWorks." I'm not here to discredit nobody, take nobody's legacy, move nobody's legacy, or make any money off of anybody's legacy. Any money I made off of music, I made it out my trunk. And my man saw that. He saw my passion, and our passions met. And we decided to like go for it,
So you guys were
balls to the
all
wall.
in each other's peripherals at the time that you slinging tapes. You're all in each other's peripherals. You run in the same circles, right?
Yep.
And the music is evidently still working for you at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm in
And
and out of mixtapes in the street. Like I'm dibbling dabbling. Like I'm jumping in and out of both worlds, trying to still do music, trying to still consult and run the label while I'm, running and learning how to run the streets. Like there's not that many people that could say, yo, Kato taught me everything I know.
now,
Like
did you know K before you knew the Flores twins? Like, how did you meet each? How'd you meet
no,
K? How'd you meet the
I
Flores
knew
twins?
of him, but I had never met him. I used to, when things didn't go well for me at the discount mall, and I, didn't have a good day selling tapes, or I didn't have a good day distributing, I was like, 26th Street was a no cruising zone, but it really was a cruising zone. So literally cars were like 2, 3 miles per hour, stuck in traffic. So I would post up on Sawyer, I think, with my boy Louis, who was a Latin King, and my guy Oscar, who was like not a Latin King, but affiliated to them. And I would just stand there with like the stand that was like, selling aguas and elotes and stuff. And I would just bump into cars and run into cars and just be like, yo, I got the freshest, mixes. And that's how I would know of who they were, through the neighborhood, was like they would buy my tapes, buy my CDs. I would always, of course, go up to um, the dopest cars, and that just so happened to be, the biggest vans, the flyest vans with the biggest rims, and who was in those vans, the guys running the neighborhood, which happened to be, Florida Brothers, the twins. A lot of people don't really know. I also knew Cowboy. I sold Cowboy his first mixtapes. Cowboy was a Trumbull 2-5 and a big ranking guy. He got caught before all these guys. Like I set his first music store up in the Hollywood car wash. Like I got extensive ties and backgrounds all the way back. It's really crazy, like the shit and how it all works out. But like I even know Saul, who then later on, does all this shit to the twins. But I've had dealings with Saul. You know what I'm saying? Like I know of him. He knows of me.
He never got you for nothing.
Nah, he was always on, stick up time, robbing time. So, I knew a couple of people that were part of his crew, and sometimes I'd tag along. I mean, man, you want to make some extra money? Come hang with us. We're gonna go do this and that and the third. And sometimes it was fruitful, and a lot of times it was not. You know what I'm saying? So like, and that was a handful of times. I'm not saying I was like a regular with them or around them, and that was probably like early on in his like we're talking about 96, 97, 98. You know what I'm saying? Even 99, that I was like around in and around that world, you know? Um, so all these guys own businesses and cell phone stores. So where did you used to sell mixtapes
Yeah,
at? It's
consigning
obvious,
all over
you
the
know,
neighborhood.
like Twin, P didn't say it, but the first time I met him, it was in Hot Jams. He was working at Hot Jams, and I was like, "Yo, what the?" I knew he was somebody in the neighborhood, and I'm like, "What's he doing?" Oh, this is his front. This is his like cover up, Like, all right, I'm not gonna blow it for you, and he was like, "What's up, man? How you doing?" Because he remembered me from the street, but he was also just trying to learn the business, see if maybe a record store was something he would want to open later,
Right.
But I remember seeing him working at Hot Jams, and I mean, he could probably verify that for you. Um, but that's really my rounds in the city, and my like I know people from Milwaukee and Waukegan all the way out to Gary and Indianapolis, in just like just off of mixtapes, man. So like it's just very extensive. I used to ship to 14 states, bro. Like I had a probably the biggest operation. They came and made an office here. The RIAA built this office specifically to bust two guys. The guy bootlegging the Titanic movie and Damien Cash. Like that was their agenda. Go to every store, find Damien Cash product, build a case. And the shit that they were building on me was something I wasn't going to be able to come back from. It was like air, mail, wire fraud, racketeering,
And you saw it coming.
like just all types of, like legal problems that I didn't even know I was doing simply by, selling a mixtape,
Right.
but, you know, it is what it is,
So you saw it coming, and what? You just shut down shop?
Yeah, I shook it, man. I just said, man, I had a operation at like there was the U-Haul building now they call it, or the Riverfront Lofts they call them, right by Lawrence's. I had like 3,000 square feet. I used to hire a lot of undocumented like people to stuff CDs all day, very light work, and I would just give them, $50 a day a person just to sit there, you know, stuff J cards and print CDs and
Yeah.
rap CDs, and I had a pretty large operation, bro. So when that came about, I went in there one night, slapped a chain around my excursion that I had around the time, and pulled a dumpster to the windows. I was like on the seventh or eighth floor, and I threw everything out. Somebody in the building gave me a heads up and said that they were going to serve a knocking warrant, like just bust in. And the next day, and they told me, hey, they came by with a warrant today. They said they were looking for you, but we don't have a lease with you. I had the lease in somebody else's name, so what that gave me the leg up. They went and go get their warrant on under the right name with the hopes to find me there. Then I just got rid of everything, and that was really the last time I ever really made a CD or a mixtape, and just said, you know, it's crazy because everybody's like, well, how did you get involved in this? It's like, that was that fork in the road,
Now,
like,
were you already playing on both sides, or it was strictly
I
tapes?
knew people in the business, and I would connect people all the time, like middleman shit, but
Okay.
never like hands on. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just like, oh yeah, oh you need, oh I know who you get. Oh, talk to this guy right here. I'll make a few dollars here and there, and I was like, oh man, this is like lucrative, But I never really relied on it or focused on it until
Right.
the mixtape game was completely like shut down, and that was sad because I did it to myself, right? I brought the Jamaican and the Asian. They moved here from New York, and they started a duplication center, and then the next thing I knew, they were coming here bringing DJ Who Kid CDs and all these unreleased mixtapes from New York that they were bootlegging,
Just
and
turning
they
it
were
into a
just
hub.
undercutting me, selling it for $1 or $2 for slim lines. And I was like, once they did that, they really just took the meat out of any profit I was making at $4 or $5,
So
So
that's the fork in the road. So that's when it's like, all right, it's time to make my stake in another business.
yeah, and the crazy thing about it is like, even the nonstop story, like that job was originally gonna be Kid Scratch's job with X. Because I was like always consulting the whole thing, and if people know like Damien Cash is really Kid Scratch, I just put the brand on top of it and ran with it, right? I started to make my own mixtapes in the beginning, and I would dibble and dabble and make certain projects that were like dear to me, right? Don't get it confused. Like I know my way around Pro Tools, DR4,
Mm,
computer, like mixtape DJ. I could do it all. I could make the same mixtapes, same quality, same vision, but like really what I was like an A&R, right? Like I would come up with these concepts and tell them, yo, I need this, and this music. This is what they're asking for. Let's put a little bit of this in there. Let's put a little bit of that in there. And just, I was the creative director, Um, but he was the ghost behind Damien Cash. So when the job came up, they first was gonna offer it to him, and I was like, "Yo, this nigga can't be around small." He was, that's my really good friend of mine. Hope he's doing well. If he's listening to this or watches this, his health was always a problem. He's struggled with MS, and so I was like, "Yo, he's not gonna be able to withstand touring and being around smoke, and these niggas are wild." And then Nan became, like prevalent in the conversation and was working with us at the time on other shit and shows and stuff. And then it was like, oh yeah, he's a better fit.
I tell you
He's
what,
he's
the universe worked in a special way because that
exactly,
became a
exactly.
special friendship, a special duo, a special brotherhood.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it's
I mean,
because of
Nan is
that it
my
brought me
Nan
in.
is
Like it
my
was perfect. Like
Nan is my brother, bro.
I don't see, I don't,
We go way back.
dog is a special kind of person, and not just anybody was gonna be able to go all the years with him that nonstop
Oh
did. So
yeah,
I think it
for
worked out
sure, for
perfectly.
sure.
Yeah.
And Nan is rough around the edges. He's been around the
Hmm.
streets. You know what I'm saying? So he can handle that. And that really was like the pre-conversations between Cato and I, like, yo, because they tapped him really to babysit him here and help him turn in an album that he wasn't turning in and wasn't getting done.
Hmm.
That was really, really the like, yo, you got to get him to get this album done. And their friendship turned into like, bro, you got to get this work done too. We
Right.
could fuck around, we could play with remote control cars, gamble, do whatever, but we got to get this work done, bro. The world needs you. They're waiting for you. You've got commitments.
So you got to
And
see that friendship, the friendship between K and DMX. You got to see that friendship from the beginning, huh? From
oh yeah,
turn
yeah. I
into what it
mean,
was.
yeah, I mean, it was special. You could tell right away that they were like two peas in a pod. They were identical, you know? Um, he X also saw like, I was a very trustworthy person and a confidant, a very close person that could get around any type of conversations or could be around any kind of conversations between them, you know. Um, I've told the story about X waking us up in the middle of the night while we're babysitting him at the W before he goes to the studio the next day,
Right.
and he wakes us up in the middle of the night to go jack a car, like, I'm in these settings with him.
Right.
You know, he wants to go buy a remote control car, like it's, in a north suburb. It closes in 15 minutes. We got police detail in the front and the back, and we hot tail it to go buy a remote control car. Like we're in like hot pursuit. You know what I'm saying? Like police pursuit all the way, like 40 minutes away, get there in 15, 20 minutes just to go make it to buy this remote control car that he really wanted.
Right.
So like I was around them for like, and the other thing too, man, like my relationship was with Cato was not the same relationship that any of his peers in his organization have with him or anything around the street. Like I got to see a different side of him, man. Like people can't really tell me about him, the way I could tell somebody about him. Like I saw the man, a husband, a father. I saw a lot of great things about him, You know, I didn't see a lot of any of whatever else other people have, opinions of, and I don't really like to hear any like negative opinions about him. You know what I'm saying? And there may be shit out there, but if I didn't see it, I can't really like my skin don't feel right around it. You know, so like I got his face is tattooed on my left shoulder, man. Um, and I got a lot of love for him, like extreme love. And with that love, there extends a certain respect to his mom, his children, whatever. Like I would never disrespect him ever. There may have been some shit that got like disconstrued or whatever, some art that I was trying to put on a hoodie, but I like, I felt that was wrong, and if that hurt anybody's feelings, that I didn't profit anything much. I gave away most of those hoodies to friends of his and people that really would love to wear him. I didn't make, but maybe 15, 20 of those. But like I love him like a brother. I met the twins first, but my relationship was a lot more extensive with Kate. And
So
it's,
yeah, we were talking about how you was standing around on the block and you was pushing CDs and you got to see these characters that were the function of the neighborhood, the dudes from the neighborhood, and you
yeah.
see them out of the corner of your eye and you know each you get aware of them. Now, at what
Yeah.
point do
You
you?
know who they are, you know what level, of
So
respect.
at what point y'all get y'all plug up?
I think we played ball at hoops a few times before he realized or knew that um, I was somebody in the music, right? Because like uh, Big John, who's now deceased, was trying to manage me at the time as a tour DJ and put me on the road because that's what he thought I was. I'm like, nah, that ain't gonna be me. I'll never make enough money on a tour bus with a per diem and all of that bullshit. Like, I make way too much money off of mixtapes,
Right,
bro,
right.
to go on the road for 100, $250 a show. You know what I'm saying? And a $50 per diem. Like, that ain't gonna cut it for me. So we were trying to figure out a way for him to manage me on a business level. So when I would go play at hoops with Twin and them and all K and all those guys, like he would see me go over there and play a game with R. Kelly, or I knew all the promoters over there, Honeycut, Omar, Blackie, Silent Partner. He got his own clothing line now, so that's still my homie. That's one of the first people that connected us with Fat Joe through my friendship with Blackie and knowing John, Big John, Fat John, and knowing them and like just introducing everything. Once we decided to start a record label, like, yo, this guy can, they just did records with Fat Joe. He could connect us. Boom, let's go. So, you know, it didn't take but about maybe a, a month or two of him seeing me at hoops and then seeing me around in the neighborhood. And then when like P was like, yo, this is cash, like he's in the music, he does mixtapes, he makes money off of mixtapes. And then it's like, oh yeah, I want to do music, bro. And that's really initially like, the first conversations, I mean, his first artist is Prophet. Well, his first artist, he had an artist named Diablo, which I didn't know. DeMarcus Anderson, his name is Diablo back then. Um, Coined by Cato, I believe that's who gave him the name. But that was his main like artist, and I had Prophet because I used to shop heavy and put CDs in like all of like the Tony Sports, the Crew Sports, the J, the Tops and Bottoms,
Right.
all the clothing stores had my mixtapes, bro. Like that was like when the stores were dying down, my mixtapes moved into the clothing stores,
Right.
and the malls. So um when Cato saw that, and he just did a ride along with me, he saw that I was literally making money off of mixtapes. It was at towards the end of my mixtape run that I barely started to put freestyles and raps of artists on my mixtapes at the end. And then I was like, this is what it's been all about. I did, but then it was too late. I couldn't be drama then. I was already like a different thing. I wasn't hosting mixtapes. I wasn't providing a service to artists. I was taking the hottest most current unreleased music. I was the unreleased king. You wanted a song that wasn't out yet, that wasn't downloadable yet, that you couldn't get in your iPod, you went and bought a Damien Cash mixtape. I was the one that beat everyone to it first. So, you know, that comes with a certain amount of power. Everybody knew, like, yo, this motherfucker beats us to the punch every time. But that's because I had a partner making mixtapes. All I focused on was cover, artwork, pressing, and distribution. You know, so we made the perfect marriage. I even had a mixtape called "Put Us Together," and then it would depict like Scarface and Manolo, which would be Kid Scratch and Cash. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we make the perfect team. We make the perfect balance. You know, but those tapes were few and far and in between, and Kid Scratch didn't really want to put his name out there like that. But when he did want to do a big tape, a big release, like I would help, or sometimes I would put it out early on, and then he put a few of his own out afterwards. But like, big shout out to Kid Scratch is if there was no Kid Scratch, there really would not be no Damien Cash. And he really was the heat, you know, the unreleased, that was him, you know. I just kind of gave him a little bit of like, yo, I need this, I need that, I need this. This is what they're asking for. So I had like real time information for him
Yeah, you
to
was
go look
facilitating.
and find, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to the chat. Salutes to the chat. Appreciate y'all for being here. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. 57 concurrent viewers. 20 likes. Let's get them likes up into the 40s and 50s. I appreciate y'all. Salutes to Jonathan Pantoja for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. He said, damn, hearing all this makes hearing Ayo Kato hit extra hard. Salute Shy L and Damien Cash 100. Salutes to you. Appreciate you, Jonathan. So, all right, so you got a relationship with the twins, you got a relationship with Kato. It goes down, you get deeper into the game. How does that look? Is this at the
I
same
mean,
time that you and K are trying to do the label thing? Is it at the same time that you're getting deeper, or did it come
no,
subsequent?
I get deep. I get deep as we're formulating the label. You
Okay.
know, I the introduction was really kind of formulated for me to kind of like shadow him and be him and let him pretend to be the music guy, you know, and be the front, well, not pretend, but let him be the music guy and cool him off. And this way, nobody knows what's going on in the background. So it's like a trading places, Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. And I go into his world, he goes into my world. We still see each other every day, you know. We compare notes. We're the end of the day is still music. We're at the studio recording, you know, but my day is much different than his day. His day is get things together, talk to people in New York, further his connections and through the streets and all the people that he knows and get all, you know, deeper and deeper and deeper into the music. And my day is like do hit what his day used to be, just to kind of keep things off the radar and like, well, we're, you know, because
Without busting out the window of the car at your ops and all of that shit, right?
right, yeah, exactly, because you know he was spicy everywhere, so
Right.
you know his business was easy to become spotted because it's like, oh, that's him right there, that's him, that, you know, so it's
Right.
like, you know, even though you're not looking for trouble, you're in trouble because of who you are and you know your lifestyle and your past. So like it was a smart move, you know. I mean, you know, looking back, I was a bit of a sacrificial lamb for it, you know. But, you know, once we figured out what the order of things were gonna be, I think had he still been here this day, we would probably be like the modern day version of what like Shady Aftermath, you know, like I started connected like before he even passed away. Like I had my own entity because I realized that the only way that we were going to be able to survive is you do dinero, I'll get you do that, and then I'm going to do this label and I'll consult you on that. And that was the deal. You know, help me turn up, help me market and promote this and raise the needle. And when they give me this check, I'm going to sign your label under my label and you're going to run this shit, you know, both. So you know, it's bittersweet to talk about it because, you know, I was on those phone conversations with Steven Spielberg and partners and lawyers and all everyone from DreamWorks, you know, early on in DreamWorks, you know, and I just sometimes you can't really let go or imagine what could have been. I
Right.
sit there and I listen to the unreleased music, and it's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It still hurts. It still like burns me, inside, and I can't even imagine any what his family still feels. He's a big void and a big loss in my life, like um and I can't imagine what anyone else is feeling. I could just tell you what I feel.
Hmm.
And that's he's a big void, man. He was bigger than life.
Now was
He's
he playing that position, that change of positions? Was he still playing that up to the end of him, or
Yeah, man. I mean,
like that
I
was
was
still what
supposed to
y'all were
meet
doing?
him that day that all happened. I was on my way to meet him to get some money from him to book flights to go seal the deal, bro.
Mm.
Like that's a lot of shit that a lot of people don't even know that. Like I was ripping and running all day and I was like, "Oh, I'll catch you here. I'll catch you there. Oh, this ain't gonna work. Oh, this ain't gonna work." And then I get a call and it's like, "Yo,
So
they say that he's dead." And I'm like, "What? Where?" And immediately I dropped everything I was doing, got there. I got questioned. They pulled me in. They put me in a lineup. They took pictures of me and everything and asked me, "Well, how did you know or find out about the murder? Well, how'd you get here?" Like I had to go to the precinct, you know? Um, obviously like I had a trunk full of posters and CDs and like it was really why how I knew him. Like, yo, we run a record company with him. Um no, there was nobody that did it like us, bro. We were on top of Benihana's. Our offices were on top of Benihana's. 3 Kanye West tracks, a fabulous feature, DMX feature, um, a Selena Johnson feature, a Fat Joe feature. You name any top producer at the time, no ID, everyone that was anybody was on this artist's Profit project.
yeah, no,
The
we were hearing
video,
about it on this side.
yeah,
We knew what was happening.
the videos were going to be shot by director Little X, and there was talks about a Hype Williams video. Like when you talking those names and you throwing those names out there, bro, like man, ain't nobody in the history of Chicago music that didn't make it that did that level, like, and not made it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is all like pre even making it. Like, the conversations were just so legendary, so big, so large. Like, um, and then
Did Fat
I
Joe pull out Pun's rhyme book?
yes, he did. It was like a glittery purple bag, and right when he got stuck at a few bars, and he's like, uh, you can hear it. I mean, I might as well
Is
pull it up and
is
play it
that
for
joint
you.
out there?
Nah, it's in my phone though, and I'm gonna play it right now, a little clip,
So
and
for
you're gonna
those
hear
that don't know what
it.
I'm talking about, is I did a short maybe a year and a half ago, um off of a clip that I saw of Damien speaking to, I believe it was Al Prophet, and they were talking about Fat Joe, and they were talking about, well, Damien was talking about Fat Joe. Now people are always, there's always something about Fat Joe, and it's like I try to stay out of it. But then Damien said what he said. He said, "Man, Fat Joe pulled out Pun's rhyme book." And I remember people used to talk about that in the hood. But again, I hear a lot of bullshit in the hood. I hear a lot of rumors. I hear a lot of innuendo, shit that wasn't real. And I try to find, what was real and what wasn't. So I hear this. He says, Joe pulls out Pun's rhyme book and used rhymes from his rhyme book on a record. And to me,
Yeah.
I was like, that's probably the lowest shit you could do besides taking the ring off a dead man's finger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about it because in the moment, you know, bro, you're like, wow,
Oh,
and
when it's
this guy's
happening?
about to spit something legendary.
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong, he wrote most of his shit, you know.
Right.
Like I'm not here to discredit Joe either. Like
Right.
I was the one sitting on the couch with Joe while he's got the Hennessy bottle telling me his son's name is my government name and all, like I like y'all Chicago niggas. Like, man, he gave me great advice about like the angle to take about music. Like, he's a mogul in his own right, bro. Don't get me wrong on why I bring stuff up, but like,
Mhm.
that just
If
happening
it
in front
happened, it
of me
happened.
is like, you can't make that shit up. Like,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Like, he brought it out, you know. Uh, this uh,
Yeah. BX Shot Town. Yeah. Get down with we crack the dawn. Yeah. Gracias. Trevor. Now, see my down, big baby.
Closer to the mic if you can.
Hands and pistols.
huh?
Closer to the mic if you can.
Francisco, this beef from using the chrome. I leave niggas up to the funeral home. Niggas like the Taliban, raising hell.
Been ready with AK since the age of 12, like Jacob the jeweler. This is Prophet, our artist at the time. Um,
Yeah, we can't really hear it.
and not to like, you know. So here's Fat Joe's verse. I don't know if you can hear this very clearly or not, but strictly Benson Jags, niggas stop being cheap. Yep. So right around here, this is Pun's pattern coming up. I'll tell you where.
Yeah, we can't really hear it.
Yeah. We'll do something a little more formal,
Yeah, we'll
but
figure it out.
you
Yeah, no, I
know,
just I just thought that I mean, it's one thing in homage.
yeah,
That's my brother. I'm a lace a line on every joint, whatever.
yeah. And
But
it was a couple of lines. It wasn't like, yo, he gave us a full pun.
oh
He's
well,
like,
he's
yo,
out of
let
pocket.
me give, yeah, let me give you a little pun. You know what I'm saying? And when he hit it, it was like, yo, you could hear pun. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Blast your side,
right,
blast your cash, and your stash will be mine. Shoot your ass from the passenger side. It was straight pun rhyme.
right,
Like, this is 15, 20 years old, and it's embedded in my brain.
right,
Like I know it like the back of my,
right. All right.
I
Well,
know
word to the
Prophet's
wise
lines the
out
same
there.
way,
I know I ain't do much, but stay away from my fucking rhyme book when I die. All right, everybody that I love, everybody that loves me.
You're funny. Yeah. But yeah, man, I mean, all of that stuff is legendary stories, man. Like, we took some people with us to New York for their very first time when we went on that trip, and then it was more trips and more trips. And then, you know, I got deeper and deeper as the music progressed. I had to stay behind more, because I had to handle shit here, So it was like he ran and did his thing, and like and we had our discussions, our disputes about it, and we ended up coming together like men and just figuring it out. And unfortunately, I got back together with him to help him like finish out what we started, and things didn't end the way we wanted them to. And that shit, it stings still, bro. Especially when I hear the music or play the music, and it hurts. But yeah, man, I got nothing but love for him. He will always be my brother, and I pray that when they do his story, man, it's just gonna be so big. I know it's gonna be big. It's gonna be bigger than life. And he had such a big personality, bro. So
I
I
mean,
just pray that when they do
y'all
it, bro,
had y'all
they do it right.
right, right. So you guys had your discrepancies over the years and times when y'all went at it. There's a half a story that was told. You don't have to give us the rest if you don't want to. You can leave it at that if you want to, but it is my job for my audience to ask the question. You know what I'm saying? There
Yeah.
was a half a story that we covered, and it was a story of him hunting you down to find you and the
Yeah.
video cut off, and I, for the life of me, couldn't find part two. I figured there wasn't a part two. I figured I'd ask you about it.
Well, I mean, JC was with them when they were chasing me down,
Oh, is that
you
what was that
know?
a conversation with you and JC? Okay, that's what it
Yeah,
was.
that
Okay,
was a conversation with me and JC,
so
and
JC
yeah,
was with him.
it happened. I just didn't want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to sit down about it. I was upset about it, and there's a lot of motherfuckers that came around him that just took money from him, and I was disappointed in that more than anything because I never would have let anybody come around and, you know, like misguide him in the music. There's a lot of vultures in the music business, and
Absolutely.
they'll tell you, I'll help you here, I'll help you to do this, pay this guy, pay this guy, pay this guy. And I felt like a lot of that was going on, and I was mad, mad at him, mad at me, mad at, just the whole situation. And, we just were at odds. We just weren't talking. And he was looking for me, you know what I'm saying? Because uh, there's no doubt about it, man. He loved me like his brother, like I love him. And if you knew Cato, you knew that if he loved you,
Mm,
he was gonna bust a fucking cap at your ass because as much as he loved you,
mm,
that's how passionately he loved you, and he was adamant when he was mad at you.
mm.
He was equally passionate about being mad at you, and that's definitely not a lie. And anyone who knows him will tell you that. They've been on the opposite end of being his best friend and his enemy at the same time
Right, right.
because he loved very passionately. He really fucked with people all the way, no way at all. So like if something went wrong or you did something out of character that he didn't like, he was like, "What?" Like he really got into your ass about it. So
Right.
um yeah, man. It got really bad to the point where,
Smokey Fuma
people
just
just said, "Nah,
subscribed
man,
on
y'all need
YouTube.
to just sit down and talk and iron this shit out." And we did. We ironed it out like men, and we figured out a way to turn a bad situation because they weren't offering enough money. And I came back and we fucking tackled this fucking industry and did this whole street team and, you know,
Nice.
rat trucks and everything. We went, I did wonders with the budget that we had.
Right.
And that's just because I knew the market. I knew what to do to turn the needle, to raise the notch.
You doubled
And
down.
once yeah, so I doubled down with whatever we had, and we were ready to fly out and sign the deal.
Mm,
And unfortunately, we didn't make it on that plane.
mm.
So
So at this
you
point,
could hear it in my voice, man.
I got
That
you.
shit
I got
still
you.
hurts.
So at
So
this point of your life, you're in the game. You're in the game. You're
yeah.
pushing. You're hustling. You're out there hustling. You're connecting. You're working through the Flores twins at this point.
Yeah. I always kept a relationship with them, and I always knew that I could get whatever I needed from them. So when he passed away, it was easy for me to continue and do what I needed to do. And then it was even easier when the twins went on the run. Like business fell on my lap. I knew everybody. Everybody knew me, and nobody likes to do business with somebody over the phone or where they can't see them or can't touch them. They want to have a physical somebody they can meet and hold responsible if something goes wrong. So I feel like I got a whirlwind economically when they left, and they were such a big business that the little business that slipped between their cracks was enough to make me somebody that the feds ended up wanting, and I ended up getting set up later outside of
Jesus
them, like
Martinez just
not in their
subscribed on
case.
YouTube.
So
Um,
that was you what you went to the joint for was not rolled up in their case.
no, no. But I very well could have. And here's the thing about, you know, telling or whatever. I mean, there was plenty of us that could have went up the river with them, and we didn't. Like we were left behind to,
Mm,
live to fight another day. And I mean, I was free for a good, what they go. They went on the run shortly after K died in oh 04, 05, oh 03, something like that. And I mean, my case didn't happen till 15, so I had a good run on my own. You know what I'm saying? outside of that, 10, 15 years of just in and out. Obviously I wasn't at their level, but I did enough for myself to cut out a decent life for myself. Um, and I learned a lot from them guys, all of them, bro. Like when you at that level and you're witnessing what's going on a movie, like unbelievable Hollywood level, like blockbuster level, like they make the shit that's on all these narco shows and everything, they make that shit look little. I know y'all had the BMF conversations and everything, but bro, I'm here to tell you, just being a passenger in or a fly on the wall or in and out of there, like obviously I'm the musical component to the story, right? Like, you know, goes into the music with me, then the music goes hands over. Val wants to continue the music, then they get into the music, and they've always, but they saw me make money in music and knew that there was something lucrative there to do, right? Music wise. So like I don't like overly like tap myself on the back to say I was an integral part of their operation. No, but I was a big part of their story because some of the things that they did, the bigger things that they did, man, their signings, their record deals, the things that they did, like they're big too. Like they got songs with everybody in the music industry, the same way we did it back when Cato was around in the De Niro days, like they redid it and them in their own way. So, shout out to those guys. They're they're good people, man. I like to lead with love and understanding, and like a lot of these shows sometimes it's like you're either this or you're that, and I just feel like until you're in the situation, you really can't really have an opinion on something that is not happening to you and your family directly. Um, and that's about
You
that's
have
about
any cartel scares in the game?
um yeah, man, I was gonna get thrown under the bus pretty similar to when the Flores brothers, when that guy was trying to say that they owed all this money. That
Mm-hmm.
was happening to me here on the floor. But luckily, the guy was such a piece of shit that he treated everyone around him bad. So his own brother-in-law came and told me, he's like, bro, get away from this guy. I don't care how you do it, but just go. Like he's telling people that you owe them all this money. And he's like, I'm watching you turn in all the money and I know what he's doing with the money. So he was putting it on me and saying I wasn't turning in. And they're like, all right, give us his address. We're going to go pick him up. So I think later on down the road, they realized that he made some investments, bought some gas stations and did all type of shit and then chopped his ass
Sean
down.
Smith
But,
just subscribed on
and
YouTube.
realized that it wasn't me, it was him. But those situations are scary, bro, because it's your word against somebody that they completely trust.
Mm.
And if you've broken down the shit from the twins and you listen to their twins, like Chapo didn't really believe them when he told them like we don't owe him that much. They made him go through hula hoops and get this dude talking about it on tape
Mm-hmm.
before he actually believed it.
Right.
So I probably wouldn't have been that lucky or had that opportunity.
Shit, even when he believed it, he still wanted his bread. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, exactly. So, and that's the thing is like, there's no real honor amongst thieves, bro. So it doesn't shock me that motherfuckers are telling on each other left and right and people tell on each other because there really isn't. When you have the element of money and greed involved, niggas will do anything to you, no matter how good you've been to them or what you've done, saved their life. They don't give a fuck. It's human instinct to look out for yourself first. Have you ever saw the movie with Rosie Perez? I forgot, is it Final Impact? Like you're she was down on herself because she's in a flight and she let go of the baby in the flight. You're not a seatbelt. Your natural instinct is to brace yourself. So you had to let go.
Right.
And even though your child is in your arms and you feel like because you let go, the child died and you survived, no, it's this human. It's like psychologically, you come first in your brain.
So no, you haven't, have you ever been like stuck up for some work or had to
Oh
make
yeah,
it
man,
back?
that shit's part of the game,
Part of
bro.
the game, yeah.
There's more people running off this day on you with money. Like if I tell you how much I got in tabs out here, it's a cool couple $1 million of
Right,
motherfuckers that broke bad on me, you know?
right,
So what I would say is like it's not new to us. You know, it's new to the people on these shows listening in and like, whoa, what? You know, shit. I lost a cool $700,000-800,000 and had to crawl out of that hole, you know, like
right.
not no millions and millions, but still that's a big hole to climb out of, you know. But when you're an earner, they give you the opportunity to make it up because you've made that times 10 for them, you know. So
Right.
it's not really a loss to them, even though it is a loss, you know, they give you the opportunity to make it up if they see it possible, you know.
Right. Yeah, otherwise they're not gonna get paid. They're trying to get paid. At the end of the day, get paid is the first, first choice.
Right.
Get paid is the first choice. Being that again, this channel was built off reacting to Surviving El Chapo, reacting to the story. I came into this, being from Chicago, being somebody that was looking at De Niro records and in '03 and thinking, hey, you know, these guys are putting money, Latino money into hip hop. Like this is what we've been waiting for. That we got 30 MCs up here that's worth their weight in gold. And coming up from that, we always heard the stories and we heard the rumors. And again, through this channel and through these reactions, I've been able to dispel some rumors. I've been able to change my perspective on certain things. Again, like we were just talking about snitching. To me, it's like, what is a snitch when it's a tactic? In a game where it's a tactic, in a game where it's like flopping, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what can I complain about one where everybody's picking and choosing? You know what I'm saying? In the
And
cartel,
it's chess, not checkers. You've heard that cliche term
right,
before, right? There's collateral damage in chess, you
right,
know. You give up pieces to
absolutely,
protect other pieces, you know. And in every man's situation, the pieces that are valuable to them are very different.
right,
Mine's may be uh a mother, a wife, someone else's may be their children, someone else may be their mistresses. You know, like everyone has different motives and different pieces that they're trying to protect. And you don't know why they're making the decisions that they're making to
right,
make the board do what it does.
right,
But there's collateral damage. And and until you're on a chessboard playing chess and realize that there's just some pieces that you're gonna have to lose, and that's just part of the game, you know, that's when you really know. Like that's why I say, like, unless you're in it and you're doing it, you don't know
right.
why it's happening or how come, you know.
Absolutely. So it's always been like, how can I hold it against this guy if this is something that they do? You know what I'm saying? This is part of their game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and
You
again,
know,
all
and
these
and there's manipulation on all levels, you know, like, nobody talks about the people that told on the Twins that kicked all this shit off in Milwaukee. They start talking on them before they said anything about anybody.
right,
That's why they went on the run. This is the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like it starts with the fact that the federal government, that's what they do, is that they work through informants. That's how they do their job.
right.
So to think that there's not going to be somebody telling on you, you got
Yeah,
another thing coming, you know?
absolutely. Absolutely. You hear that, commenters? But so our thing has always been to break through the rumors. Again, another one, I used to another story that I tell is I used to hear people come in the chat and tell me, "Oh yeah, well they're defending this, that, and the other, and if they didn't do this to Kay, then why Valerie doesn't let his mom see the kids?" And I'm like, "Damn, Valerie don't let his mom see the kids." And then come to find out through this podcast, there was no shared child between the two. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, yeah.
so I try to like dispel these things, and it gives me a different outlook. So I'll bring another what might be an uncomfortable question to you. But again, we came across another video where there was an insinuation of a thought, and the reason it stood out to us, Damien, was because throughout this whole thing, we kind of took you and JC as the voice of reason from the beginning because we didn't really know the twins' story, right? So we would
Right.
look to the people around them and see what their testimony was of these twins' characters, right? And we would
Right.
hear stories from JC, and we would hear stories from Damien Cash, and we would hear stories from other people, and it all added up to these guys were good guys. They were decent guys. They helped people out. They weren't the type to do this, weren't the type to do that. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't until one video, briefly, that you had said something that we had never heard before that kind of added to something that we thought was real. It was a rumor that we knew that or that we ran with. You know what I'm saying? And it was of you meeting the twins and him saying something, alluding to the fact that he knew what Val felt like physically, like to the touch, and and we ran across that video and it stood out to us like a sore thumb because everything that we had heard from you before was basically the same kind of talk that we got from JC. Nah, they were good guys, they were decent, they looked out for this one,
Yeah.
that one. When asked if they could do that to Kay, you said yourself, you said, man, they helped each other a lot, they did a lot for each other. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to see if you could clarify any of that, or if there's nothing to clarify, if it what it was. I know you
No,
guys
I
are in a
don't,
good place now.
rumor is probably the best label for it just because it's like there's no proof of none of that, right? It's just like men talking and men talk about when like she was every dope boy wanted to be with her. You know what I'm saying? At that time, she was like the it girl. You know what I'm saying? So would somebody comment on her? Yeah, I mean, people will comment on her, but like, you know, just looking back in retrospect and thinking about it, like I can't say that there was anything there really other than just like an attraction. You know what I'm saying? Like I, you know, I had never really like talked about it with them until they got out or I got out and we were able to all like shoot the shit and talk about it. But like I know one thing for me, and it's kind of very similar to Jay, is like, bro, if I passed away, I would want somebody to make my girl happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck who that person is, but whoever it is, just make sure that she's happy. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's probably the most important thing in it all, right? But I mean, everyone, we could speculate and shit, like we could have hunches or whatever, but I can't think that, I just know that we were all so close knit and worked so close together for so long that we were all like family. So, it's pretty easy for somebody to just like be comfortable with somebody that's been around them all their life anyway. So hence the decision for them to maybe, not care about what people are going to say and get together. Um, but that's she's like my sister, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I've had to pick her up from work several times. I'm damn near the limo driver whenever this guy is late or can't get to her or can't get to the kids. Like I used to pick her up. You know what I'm saying? So like, I can't really talk bad about any of the situation because I'm so I'm in tight with everyone in the situation, man. I still talk to Prophet to this day, man. That's my
For sure.
brother. That's
For sure.
who I really feel sad about the music that's just not being able to come out is him, because he was like the next big thing coming, out of the city.
Oh, we got an ambush.
What's that?
This nigga just hold on, man. We
What up,
got
guys? How you doing?
What up?
we got to
I
sign
just
this.
joined a little bit late.
We got to
You
sign
looking good.
disclaimers around here and shit in the private chat, nigga.
You're looking good.
Oh, thanks, bro.
Hey, no, you know what? I want to jump in. I want to make it real
Hold
clear.
on. Welcome, Jay Flores, everybody, to the room. Salutes to y'all.
You know what?
Salute to
I
the chat.
got
Get them
caught a little
lights
bit off
up.
guard because I just happened to join.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Speak your piece, man.
I just
So
happened to
so
join,
so
but you look.
Damien knows. So for the interview's sake, in this private chat, there are only 3 people that are allowed to be in here. 2 of them are in here right now. Well, besides me, 2 of them are in here right now. Jay's in here as well. He
I feel bad for P then. I yeah, X him out for a little bit. Hey, you know what I was gonna tell you now? I think just to clarify, right? I'm gonna make it clear. told this to everyone. I told this to Cash. There's not one person that didn't see Val and did say, "What the fuck? Holy shit, she looks fine."
Right.
Make
Right.
it real clear, especially the way she dressed. If you didn't look at her, it's because you were blind or something.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, Fat Joe says she looked like a UFO, and ain't no one ever seen a UFO, right? And you're gonna do a double take. You're gonna keep looking. So I want to make it clear, but I
And
think
Allen
Val.
Iverson and Allen Iverson.
Yeah, I mean,
So the list
there's a
goes
lot of
on.
stories,
Yeah.
and I'm
Hold
gonna
on,
tell you, it's
Cash,
funny
Cash,
because
Cash, Cash. Did you ever see Kanye carrying anybody's bags, especially Kato's?
Nah,
All
man.
right, I just
Like,
wanted to make sure.
that's another formulation of a lie
All right, there we go.
or a
All right, y'all.
rumor, you know?
All right, back to you, Jay.
no, they're insinuating something else. But I sure know Kay put Kanye in a headlock. So, um,
Oh man,
oh,
here we go.
well, no, I mean you're the one that knows because you would be there. But I guess that would be for another story.
Yeah.
Um, but now for the most part, I just want to make it clear, like, uh, anyone that does know me knows I'm a respectful person, no matter what. I'm a respectful man. I would never cross that line. And if I ever said something about Val, you know, I don't recall me myself ever like stepping out of line. But if someone asked me how she look, I would tell you, and I'll tell them in front of Kay
Right,
and Cash. No, I'll tell her to put some clothes on.
right,
Like what the fuck is she wearing
right. You'd
or
say it like
something like
anybody
that.
else would.
Yeah, like and if those for those people who actually have a good looking woman, then you understand what I'm saying. Um, but I always kept it respectful, and I know people always wondering if me and her had something going, and
I think that was what was framed before I even got home, and that was part of the interview, right? Like how you're asking right now. I think the way that it was framed was like, this is the rumor, and I was like, well, I mean, everybody's commented about her, and I think, edit wise or whatever, it could have been made to seem like I was saying like, yo, there's something going on, but like knowing these guys, I can't tell you that no, there's no way that that would be true. Plus, Kay probably would have fucking smashed your ass.
nah, but it wasn't even about what he would have done. I think it's just
No,
about.
but I'm saying everybody knew how much he loved her, bro. Like that wouldn't even cross nobody's mind to do no
I
shit.
think for the most part, you know what? I've been on the other side of it, so I think that Val could be so cool, especially she's like a dude, but it's not what you like. Not like a dude, but I'm saying she's like one of the guys, right? That people could have took her like being cool in the wrong way. Because I heard all kinds of dumb shit, of dudes being, oh, she wants me or whatever, and I would laugh. I just think that was just her being cool. Um,
It's easy for a thirst bucket dude though to have a normal night because yeah, she has that kind of chemistry. She's able to talk. We get on the phone, we talk bullshit, ha ha ha. Some dudes is like, she loves me, she's in love with me, dog. She laughed at my joke. Like what the fuck are
no,
we
but
talking
and you
about?
know what's funny because especially when I was in prison, I used to be like, "Yo, man, did I miss that class? I must have cut out school when on confidence class because I missed that shit." Because I
Right.
never one thought and one time thought, "Oh, she likes me." I'll be real with you, like even when the part came when me and her actually started, like even where I probably felt it was something different, I still didn't believe it. Like it probably took her like to make it real clear sign for me to be like, "Oh shit." Like this is not regular Val anymore. But for the most part, I'm speaking for like coming from my perspective. Like there's no doubt about how Kay felt about her and how she felt about Kay. Like that's a given. Um, but always respectful, and I know people would love to hear that. It makes for a great story, right? That me and her had something going on. Um, that I don't even think about something like that. I do have my own stories about like the first time I met her, which we'll talk a little bit more about in the documentary. And yeah, I had one of those moments, like probably a little bit worse than Fat Joe because I was only 16 and she was what, she's 6 years older than me. She's you know I'm 16, she's 22 in the club, and I'm seeing a woman that I've never saw before. So I was like shocked. This was before or right in the beginning when she started being with Kay. So um, yeah, I had my own story about how I met her and all that when I was way younger, but I always kept it respectful, and I think it makes for a good story. And with the funny thing, Cash, is I'm gonna share something between you and I. And 50 Cent actually
Hold
brought
on,
this
hold
to
on, hold
my
on,
attention.
hold on, hold on. Before he shares, get them lights up, y'all. Y'all playing games in the chat, bro. Jaden kicked in the door on me and Cash. He's in here. He gonna tell us a story right now. Y'all hit that like button. We earned it. Go on, Jay.
Yeah, I'm gonna share this story. This is an insight. I was with 50 one day, and he happened to see that video where Cash said that, and I'll never forget that he was like, "So you were with Val, right? How long were you with her? You know, when Kay was alive?" I said, "Bro, what are you talking about?" He said, your man, your boy. What's his name? Cash." He said it. I'm like, he said what? When? He said in the video. He pulled out receipts. And
Yeah.
he was like, "Look." And I said, "Oh, hold on. Let me just double check." And I called Cash on the other line with 50. We FaceTimed him.
Yeah.
And we talked about this incident, and he said, you know, um, was this the case? And I could understand Cash if like whatever however he said it could have kind of came off. 'Cause I don't remember how he said it, but it could have came off like he was insinuating something. But I, again, that it's just gonna be for you know one of those things where people are gonna always have their opinion. And it's funny because
And
Cash.
mind you, when he said the comment that he said, I'm in the car. I don't know him. I don't know Kay. I don't know her. Like I don't have no reason. I said a comment based on like my opinion of like, whoa, of like early, like, I didn't make a comment on someone's character. I just said like, yo, she was bad. She came out, and the real reason why I brought it up because he's like, don't stare at her was the comment, like, because he'll fuck you up like that. Don't even pin your eyes
You
on
know
her.
what's funny?
You
Because I
know,
think me and Cash both know being around K. You know how many issues we had because somebody will straight disrespect and say something in front of him or look at her crazy. Because it was a given, but when dudes would think they were like that and would just do it, Kate would have had no problem whooping someone's ass, and I seen him do it a lot. But I think that's what I want. I didn't want for Kay to see Cash like staring at her or something, and that start off in the wrong foot because he was cool, but just not that cool, right? Uh, um, yeah, but I think even for that story, I think it all goes that um, from the beginning, me and her were very, very close, and that's my wife. That's like my best friend. And Cash was around when actually me and her started actually hanging around a lot. We took trips to everywhere: New York, California, Phoenix. Cash was around with us, and even at that point, it was nothing going on, nothing dirty at all.
we were just trying to figure the music shit out, bro. Try to pick up the pieces, and then just just like I think we all kind of like lean towards each other because we were missing somebody that was pretty important to all of us. So I think we found a common ground in that, and we wanted to continue what it is that we were doing, which is music. And that's why, you know, Jay and Val continued their journey in music. I still continued mine. I ended up getting Emmys and Grammy nominations. They ended up getting deals, and we always kept marching in the direction that we were projecting towards when De Niro was around or Cato was around. Respectfully, like, I mean, we had to pick up the pieces and do it all over again. We couldn't use any of that stuff. So, I just, it's,
Hey, and yeah, and on the other note, I want to say something about that. I just want to make it like clear. I hear all the stories about, oh, my wife was with this dude. My wife, like, listen, I'm sure your wife, unless she was a virgin, was with a lot of dudes too. Some that you know, some that you don't. She just for sure happened to choose certain type of persons, or individuals, right, that were in the life, or and I think that it kind of goes back to how she, what type of person she was for some time, but overall,
Right,
she's a
right.
way
Because at
different
the end of the
woman.
day, Jay, it's not. Yes, there are. Everybody's had a woman that's been with somebody else, but at the end of the day, the reason that it sticks out in your story is basically because of the story and the timeline. So that's what I believe that the audience and the people online are always on top about. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of different than just regular. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah, and I feel bad because at the same time, like I remember talking to her about it, and it's like she gets all this bad rep, and then part of my fault, part of K fault, but it's also what we do, right? It's not like she, we all have some type of like we're a part of it because it's not like it was easy for me to be with her. It's not like it just happened. I could understand why, we were always had the chemistry and why, we ended up falling in love with each other. But that was her circle, right? Drug traffickers, drug dealers. That was the world we were around. Gangsters, if she was around attorneys, she probably would have been with attorneys or whatever, Um, and I think that being understood that they don't understand her life. Like she's probably a way bigger hustler than most of the dudes that have something to say. I'm
right.
gonna tell you, she's probably a way bigger hustler than some of the dudes she was with, and that's being honest.
I bet that she's definitely more of a hustler than a lot of dudes that are in my comment section talking shit about it. Absolutely.
Yeah, she thought she was running shit until she actually started being with me, and then she still had trouble understanding that.
You made it. You made her see she was small potatoes, Jay.
Yeah, she still couldn't understand. But I think that all that being said, of course she was Kay's wife. We talk about it all the time, and do I take on like bro code? Did I break the code? All right, I broke it. I admit it. There's no excuses. There's no excuses. I don't make excuses for anything. Like, yeah, I end up cooperating later. Even if they would not done that shit to me, I would have probably still said, yeah, I would still cooperate. Who knows? I'm not gonna make excuses. I'm not one of those dudes. I never been one of those dudes. I continue to stay the same, like throughout everything. Even when it comes to like, my wife, I love her. I feel bad. I feel she deserves more than the life I even gave her. And for those people who don't know her, they only, can't, are going to make assumptions. And you hear a lot of people talking shit too. Oh, she looks this way, she looks that way. You still haven't seen a real picture of her because all that shit, like, you know, makeup shit, so that she could have a regular life. But, how the women look today and Cash is here is basically what she looked like 30 years ago,
Yeah.
25 years ago. So people are playing catch up right now,
Right.
especially women. But, and I get it, um, it's weird because I think as men, if you're a real man, like, you don't comment someone else's wife, if it's something wrong to say, I'm sure that, most of the people who have something to say,
You
they
married,
think they're
Cash?
what.
What's that?
You married?
No, I'm divorced, bro. I was married for 12 years, but when I went away to prison, I got divorced. But you know, I you know, I'm probably a unicorn in this game because like when I was in the game, I was pretty focused on making money and nothing else. Like I didn't really partake in the fruits of that life, which is like women on the side or everything that, everything that comes with that game. Like I didn't want anything to do with it. I was really focused on something that would supplement the money that I was making off of making music and mixtapes. So I was hyper focused and nobody could like get
No,
me
I
off
get
of
it.
that page.
Hey, real quick, I want to make it clear. Did For Nathan, I want to say, let me see. Someone in your chat, I want to make it clear. She said, did she ever work for dated a guy that worked at McDonald's? Actually, did. Me, I worked at McDonald's. Um, for Nathan, right? Wallace, you gotta feel I'm lying. You know what it is? I think that she might have her way with me or whatever you think it is. That's my wife. She probably does, and I just have my way just running other shit. Something you kind of would never understand. You know what I mean? Uh, that shit doesn't change. That shit
She
doesn't make
got
me
you to
feel
kick
any.
our door in right now.
No, I'm just saying. Like I see the comments because it's funny to me when people like I see some of the comments like, "Oh, but you snitched." Yeah, I snitched. And I think it's real funny when we have these chats, and I always say, "Look, Cash is right here." I tell him Key was the one that brought the music, stuff around. At that time, I remember my brother telling Cash, like, we got way more money than those rappers. We don't want to be no fucking rappers. We don't want to be in the music business. And even P, even later on, would tell me, he like, bro, why are you even chasing that? That's Val's dream. Why are you chasing that? And I always used to say, look, this is not about me. This is something that Val really wanted to do. I think it was like her.
Yeah.
way to stay with Kay a little bit more because that was his
Shout out to
dream.
my boy Jeffro. That's somebody that's like really tied in with Cypress Hill. If you go to Cypress Hill's channel, he's always on there. He's blowing up the chat. I just was looking
Salutes,
at all the
Jeffro. Thank you
comments.
for being here, sir. Hit the
Yeah,
like button.
but Jeffro likes to be in women's business though, so big shouts out to him. Uh, so nah, but just again, like Cash brought it around me doing the music was always about me supporting her dreams and me making sure it got done. Um, Even P used to say all the time, like, bro, you chasing these dudes. These dudes are imitating our life, and he used to be so upset. And later on, when we got the deals and all that, you know, it was weird because like that's what she wanted, and she got it, and she was like, oh fuck this shit, I don't want it no more. And later on, we'll get to all those extra stories about the music and the people we worked with and the people we had signed and all that. Um, but for sure, Cash was like instrumental to that, bringing the music, around K and basically, telling them,
Cash,
the vision.
how did
But
you feel? How did you feel as far as, so we know that there was a time where you had to switch places with Kay and let Kay go handle the music business. How did you feel? How did you feel Val adjusted to that whole situation? Because just through her demeanor and the way she carries herself, you would think she's a smoozer. She could go in there and broker some shit. How'd you feel about her being in the music business?
I knew she could handle herself probably better than most of the guys around us. I know her. She's a good businesswoman. She had businesses and shit. So like, when we started De Niro, she was away. So she
Mm.
came back to a whole bunch of different. She came back, and so
Mhm.
it's
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a good like she could handle herself around anyone for sure. She don't forget she was in the dope game before I was. Well, not technically I wasn't, right. But we were basically doing the same shit. I was 8 and she was like 20. I'm kidding. No, she's not that older, but she handles herself in that world. She handles herself in the music. I'm gonna tell you, like she never held back. Those music executives really respected her, because she's smart, intelligent. Sometimes people don't really get to see that part of her because she's tasked at doing something, right? She's promoting her book. She knows what she's doing, right? And people don't get that, don't understand that. Like right now, me and Cash right here, we're shooting the shits with you, right? Shy, we're laid back, but then I go to work for what I'm doing, and it's different, right? I'm at work. And I think that people don't understand that they only seen her in that setting, and then she calls in, and it's just different. But,
Right.
um, I think she's just a natural when it came to that. So, yeah, for sure. But I think just these are all these backstories, right?
and
That
shout out to Jonathan Pantoja, man. I think ill for having me on the show, and I just giving y'all little piece of my life. Like I got stories upon stories outside of
and
these stories, but
yeah,
like
for sure. Cash, tell them the story about how I told you and how Pete told you, leave the game alone is not for you, bro. Say
yeah,
that story.
I was at Benny Hanna's having lunch with somebody
That's the
pretty
best
famous.
way. Hold on, that's the best way you can start a story right there, bro.
Yeah.
I was
I was
at Benny
having I was
Hanna's
having Benny
having
Hanna's
lunch.
with a very famous jeweler friend of ours, and he just
Yeah.
happened to be calling to check in on him. And he was like, "Hey, I'm having lunch with such and such." He's like, "Put him on the phone." And
Mhm.
I felt like like I hadn't talked to them since they went away, but let's just frame this the right way, And they had heard that, I was in cahoots with certain people that they knew and they were bad people, you know. And in reality, the guy that I told you was trying to tell these people that I owed all this money and did the same thing that other middleman was doing to the twins on a much bigger scale, So they knew this guy. So when they knew that I was in cahoots with this guy and doing stuff with this guy, they were like, get the fuck out the game, especially fucking with him. Don't get in the game. Stay out the game. And obviously, we're men. We make our own decisions. And I was already knee deep in the shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was like kind of at that point too late to turn back. But they did. The they both got on the phone and said, "Listen, I lived with this man. I know this man. You don't want to fuck with him. He's not good news. He's not that. Aside from that, you don't need to be in this game. Stay away from this game." Like they really did, like, when you say that they're good people, like, if you're a piece of shit, you're not calling, telling somebody to go the other way. You're calling and be like, "Man, fuck him. Hey, man, take these books. We'll give them to you for a better price." You know what I'm saying? So they really
Man,
were
yes.
out. They really were out, like,
Right.
for
They
my
didn't know.
best
I was
interest.
just gonna
You
say
know?
you didn't ask them for like, well, can I get 100 from you? Let me get 100 from you, and we
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I mean, and I respected them enough
Enough.
to not bring, like, whatever problems I probably had and they were in, and I knew that there was a reason for them not fucking with me, you know? So I knew to leave well enough alone. So that wasn't even a topic or a conversation, you know? It
Yeah.
was just like,
I think for the most part, man, it's funny when people have no idea when I see comments or people try to tell me about the game and tell me what I was built for and what I wasn't. And I laugh and be like, it's like someone trying to tell Steph Curry how to shoot a three. I'll say it again. It's like someone trying to tell Steph Curry how to shoot a three. Like, when you get to that level, then we could talk about it, right? It's different, and for the most part, it was like I it looks easy. I In the beginning, Cash and we had those conversations, and some of those things didn't always go well, and not because of Cash's fault, but he was able to witness of how we did things that things didn't work out, right, Cash? Certain
yeah,
situations,
yeah.
uh, certain situations that I would be in. Yeah, we have a story that we'll tell later on that we're gonna share. That's gonna be like it's made for TV, right? And Cash has something to do with it.
Make a
Um,
note of it, cause I'm gonna make a note of it. I come
no,
with
you
receipts.
this is so crazy. I remember looking at Cash and be like, bro, that's like, like 1.8 mil just sitting in the hospital because of this shit. Do you remember that story?
Oh, yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah. So
you know what stems from that story is Fat Joe being in the same G wagon from the same guy that shot him, and then I had to put that fire out and
yeah,
tell him not to do nothing to him while they're at the club.
Yo, you
So,
hear them halfway telling stories around here,
yeah. Well,
y'all?
we can't because these are stories that probably gonna come in and be better told
oh, yeah,
in a different format if it's in a book or if it's in the
I'm about to hang
documentary
up
or
on these
for
niggas
sure.
chat.
yeah. But those are good stories. I remember looking at Cash and be like, bro. And he'll just look at me. He'll be like, "Bro, I'm sorry. What do you want me to do?" After that, it was like I never wanted to try to, just because I was cool, just put someone in a situation where then I couldn't be cool. We weren't going to be cool anymore. You know,
For
and I get it. First, there's a lot of people that were around us that thought they would come up because they were messing with someone that I messed with at one time. Maybe it was a connect, and I used to be like, first of all, I'm confident. Like, if I don't mess with him and he's looking for you, it's because he can't fuck with me, and that's for a
sure.
reason. You know, I mean, because I cut his ass off because he doesn't know how to
And
do
mind you,
business.
like, these conversations are, you heard it. Well, 1.8 million. When you hear me and JC's conversations, they're 300,000. Like, this ain't fucking, like, a brown paper bag money. These are duffels of money. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't think people can fathom these conversations and how easily they spurt out. And these are just bits and pieces of, like, that's one loss. This is another loss. This is a whole nother loss over here. And it's like, when you ask me, like, shit, we lose fucking money all day, every day. It just happens. And then just some of the shit's just, it's way out of our control,
Mhm.
like,
How
um,
long
And
was it? How long was it between the time that you spoke to the twins on the phone and they told you to bail out the game? How long before then? And the dude that so evidently there was somebody in your circle that had gotten popped off in California, and then that person came back and put everybody on tape. Is that what happened?
well, that wasn't anything that had to do with the
Right.
story that we're telling
No,
right
no, I
now,
know
but
that. I know that.
that that's probably early off when y'all were on the run. I don't know what years those are, but like this is still like probably 10, 12 years later, you know?
Mm.
So like if 10, 12 years later, you sit there and you listen to the conversation and they tell, now we talk about it all the time. Like, yo, I told you. But like even then at 10, 12 years when I didn't have the ability to talk to them because they
Right.
were
You was.
away doing their time,
Yes.
I'm like, man, he's fucking told me. He told me to walk away
Right.
and
Right.
I
Right. Still
didn't,
stood
so
there. Right.
it's reflective, you reflect on those things, but those reflections are usually filled with people that are good people. When you reflect and say, man, this
Mm.
person really meant well for me. They're
Impactful
not
moments.
usually ever filled with somebody that was a piece of shit that didn't give a fuck about you,
Absolutely.
other than reflecting on that person getting you in trouble.
Absolutely.
Hey,
So
you know what? Real quick for Nathan, I
Nathan
tell
don't
this.
run this show. Go ahead.
Yeah, now you don't, but I want to make it clear. Like they always ask, "Well, how'd you launder the money?" And I'm gonna tell you what I used to tell the government: you can't launder this type of money in no fucking taco restaurant. I didn't. They come take everything from me, so I didn't.
Get the
You
party
get to a
platter.
point where your biggest issue is the money.
Yeah.
So So I, that's the people don't understand. Oh, there's a way. There's now, man. All my guys who were 10, 12, 18 mil, legit.
Mm.
All they got all that shit taken from them.
Hmm.
There's no way. If you can't do both. So I didn't. I didn't launder the money.
Yeah. You just bought frivolous shit, as much of it as you could, and
Yeah, I
still,
bought shit that I didn't care about. Like whatever. Oh,
yeah. And that's part of like the pigeonhole that this game creates is like people ask you, well, why didn't you do this or why didn't you do that,
Hmm.
motherfucker? And you're in the position that I'm in, and you're making the money in the speed and the fashion that it comes in. You don't think about it other than just going undetected as best as you know how. That's it.
Right.
you know
A
you
constant
don't think
fire to put
about
out.
trying to fit that much money into a barbershop or a fucking taco shop or a car wash. Like they'll never believe it. you know Laundering money isn't like the solution or the problem that we have. It's just staying the fuck out the way, really. That's the
hey,
biggest problem.
yeah, I want to say something else. This is gonna be funny. So when I was in prison, I met a lot of good dudes, right? Some Mexican dudes, you know, other dudes from different states that I thought were solid dudes, were good dudes. And they used to always tell me, man, I wish I would have met you, man, when I was in the street. And I always kept it like real. And I said, man, no, you don't. He'd be like, why not? I said, because I would have had to told on you anyway. So I
Mm.
did you a favor. Uh, because I would hear that a lot. And I see people like, yeah, I wish I knew him. Look, man, I think for the most part, all those people that you hear talking about these stories, ain't no one got a good story to tell. It's all funny stories about hardships and heartaches and you know divorces and people you lost and time that you lost. Time that you will never be able to get back. And for the most part, like I think about Cash doing music, he could have done anything else. I'm sure I could have done something else. So
Well,
um,
that was leading to my next question. My next question was, so it was, when did that case come down on you when you guys had that guy from Cali? That was 2015.
Yeah.
And how much time did you have to do for that?
It was originally supposed to be 84 months. I ended up doing 60 and then COVID hit, so I ended up doing even less than that. So I got to see home earlier than I was really supposed to. Like when people first started reaching out to do interviews with me, I was on an ankle monitor at home,
Mm.
like doing COVID time from home, like still doing my sentence.
Mm.
Like
that
not,
lightweight man, Cash with that lightweight,
yeah, for
You
sure.
did that lightweight.
that lightweight time.
Yeah.
Shit, time is time. Forcing
Nah,
me to
not
be,
for sure.
forcing me where I don't want to be. That's, yeah, that's time. Minute, a million years for me feels, on this side of the table, of course. On this side of the camera, of course, feels like a million years. Yeah.
Yeah, hey, listen, that was a that brought me back too, and just to go back to your story, Cash. I was I remember we were recording one time with I'm not sure who we were recording with, but I know Joe was there, Cool and Dre were there. I think Kanye was there with us too. We were all at Sony, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
We were. It was the Rolling Stones interview for
the
Kanye.
Rolling Stone interview, right? The Rolling Stone interview.
His first.
Um, 2 3 sessions going. Oh, Swiss was there. Swiss Beats was there too.
Mary Ben
Um,
Irie, the violinist,
Many John Legend.
and
John
Jim
Legend was there.
Jones,
Yep.
uh,
Oh, Jim Jones for
Dave
sure.
Chappelle, Erica Badu, David
Yeah.
Banner, Steve
Yeah.
Rifkin. Who else
Oh
you want
yeah.
to name? You know,
Damn, I forgot about all those
come on,
people.
bro.
Yeah, I remember sitting there and Kanye, he really didn't have an idea. The only person I ever figured out what it was Swiss Beats. That was my boy too, man. He's the only one out of all those people I was around at that time because I was quiet. Cash knows I'd sit there quiet, just you know, mind my business. And that was Val's show, And Swiss was the only dude, him and his cousin, that knew like out the rip. I remember him asking me, pulling me to the side. He's like, man, I just could see it. He said, "You that dude, right? You that dude?" And I was like, it's the first time I ever like would admit to someone. I'm like, yeah, that's me. And he's like, man, my cousin called it. I knew it. That this shit, this other shit, all the dudes I met. He's
That's the
like,
Dean family. They know what they looking at when they see it.
exactly, exactly. Big, especially, I met his uncle DNY and family and all that. But being in that scenario, like for Joe, everyone, Cash being there, um, it's not always what it seems like. Them
Yeah,
dudes were around me when I was already who I was, and they had no idea because they looked for something else. I could be around K, and around K was the man. You get me? No question. But in reality, everyone knew. Cash would know, everyone else would know. But it's always that people have no idea who you're around and what you think, and you get all the comments about, yeah, right. Twins is this, twins is that, and I get it. It's not. If I was something else, I probably would be dead.
yeah,
But we have all those stories of being in the studios, like, with everyone. And later on, yeah, for sure, once, people started finding out that Val and I were together, then they put it together. But for the most part, in the beginning, even like early on, when me and Val were ready together, no one even got it. And I'm gonna share one story with you, Shai. This is exclusive.
Run it. You kicked in the door. We want some exclusive shit, dog. You don't just kick in the door and then don't come with nothing. You better
And
come with
Cash,
some
Cash,
shit.
I don't even
Cash,
know if
let them
Cash
know. You
knows
better
this.
come with some shit right now. Eh?
uh when Val got the deal, man, I'll tell you like this, like, there's a lot of different people that were involved, and she had a lot of choices, but a lot of people that helped out. But I remember gifting Swiss a very expensive car, you know as a gift, you know back then. That's how tight we were. um he's good peoples too.
no. Yeah, we were in rubbing elbows with some of hip hop's elite. You can't really you can't, I see name dropping or whatever going on. It's not name dropping when you've been in these rooms multiple times with these people, and these people call you outside of, like, like, we're trying to paint a picture here because I think people don't really understand like just how deep we were in the music. Yeah, we were deep in this other shit that,
Right.
like, I'm not really trying to talk about or glorify, but like the mission was always music, bro. It was
Yeah.
always music. And
Yeah,
you,
but
you
hey, you know
still
what?
don't give up on music, right? You're still trying to do some music, right,
I
Jake? Somewhere along the lines
Oh yeah, no, no. I told him the
the
other day. I'm still, I still doing music. I'm still doing music now. It's just, uh, on the background though. But on the real, I know people say with name dropping. Like, let's keep it real. If we there is not names like Chapo and Mochomo and Arturo Beltran Leyva or Kato or DMX, like no one be watching. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But like one thing for sure, I never been a groupie either though. Um, but when it comes to music biz, like, man, I had relationship with Akon, David Banner, like we said, like so many people, Scott Storch, Pooh Bear, shit, too many.
Music
Like
still the goal
I
for
could
you,
forget at
Cash?
times.
Music still the goal for you, Cash?
Yeah, I work and do some stuff, I do like multicultural programming here in Chicago, like it's still a part of me. I still guide some of my youngins that, hear the stories about me or what I used to do or what I've done in music. So, I try to give people a little bit of advice and consult, just for the love of it, right? But I do still have that urge to work in music and do music. I've oh man, De Niro's just one. You talk about every major big guy that's tried to do a label from Third Mill to Legion Records. So, I've had a part to do with every single last one of those ships, from their brand identity to all the production that's being done on all the albums. Like, I've been embedded and ingrained in the music industry for so long. I'm peers with every single DJ that's still a legendary DJ in the radio stations. Like, they've looked up to me for what I did in the mixtape game. So, like, I'm heavily respected for several different angles, from the street angle to creating a bridge for people to try to get out of that game, while drowning myself in it and engulfing that life myself. It was like a catch 22. Like, I'm in here trying to create a way for people out, and I'm walking the other direction. Oh, let me get at that. I want some of that. So it's bittersweet.
Ah,
But at the same time, like, I wouldn't trade my life for anything, man. I've seen a lot. I've done a lot. The things that,
man, you have a whole life ahead of you, Cash.
for
Man,
sure.
positive thoughts, bro. You know, they ain't seen nothing yet. Big things coming. A big shout out to Detroit in the house. Um, People asked about the loads of Mexico. Look, no, they didn't have to send no one to me. We did business. They gave me a call and said I want my money, and we paid them. So if they send something for me, it's not a good thing. If they ever send something for you, um, uh, one thing I want to say, you know what? Just we got more musical stories, that's for sure, coming. I'm gonna like refrain, but we still never talked about the Drake. We still never talked about the 50
Yeah, I
thing.
don't want
You know,
you
just
talking about what you're talking about to the chat right now. They could wait till the next
yeah.
Flores Twins interview.
You know, I want to make it clear. Like, I see the chat, asking questions. Cash is here, man. Make sure you ask those questions, and don't pay attention to me about anything personal he could ask. Um, and people were asking if who would win a basketball court. He a little old. He got fucked up knees right now. Bust his ass. He had me on the height, but I'll shoot my lights off. I'll shoot his fucking brains out. That's for sure. Um,
The problem is that you know me before I went away to prison, so I got a chance to do some heavy playing in prison, bro. I
Oh,
got
so wait a
championships in
minute.
prison,
So that
bro.
means in the future there could
So
be some kind of
we
showdown.
go we gonna have to
Cash.
see whose jumper's better now. All
Ten,
right.
10, let me tell you something. I was in the shoe for close to 3, so that didn't count. But 10 years I played ball, and I'm gonna tell you, all those dudes that was locked up in prison, all those cheap shots I took because you guys were haters. Y'all just made me. They know they made me mad. They know what to do with me. But I think that'd be fun. I just gotta get a little bit back, my legs
Okay.
back. We'll be good.
Let's just both agree that Cash right now and Jay right now definitely would beat Cash and Jay when Cash and Jay were playing at hoops. For sure.
For real?
My game's totally not anything like that at all. And I know back then your game wasn't like that either. So if you got
Nah.
good in prison and I got good in prison, then
Oh,
we
well
just
then
gonna
there
have to
we
see
waiting
what's
to
to
see
it.
it then. We're gonna broadcast it live on this channel at Hermosa Park Gymnasium.
That's crazy. But yeah, and you know what though, man? When we talk about basketball, you can't leave out, Anthony Mason, Cato. He used to just fucking fuck
Oh,
people
bro.
up left and right. Like, you weren't even around, and he just plowed you over for no reason because you were in the way. Like,
Oh
just,
man, Kid was a sore loser. He's the one that's gonna bust the ball, hide the ball. He's gonna bite, scratch, kick, bro. He
hey,
is
that's,
one.
hey, everybody's heard the term county ball. If you look up
Oh,
county
that's
ball,
it?
there's gonna be a picture of K right
That's
next to it.
funny.
Dude, that like, but I'm gonna tell you, the hardest thing, how shit could happen. I remember, uh, so we're always playing ball. Kid loved, man. He was like a big kid, and we're playing outside. And the hardest part about going to parks in Chicago, you know how it is, Shy. Kid was to take off his shirt. He got
Oh yeah,
crowns everywhere.
absolutely.
He's come with 3 carloads and shit. You have to have security outside. Like, no one comes to the car because you don't want no one come grab a gun or anything. Like all these fucking big ass fucking ordeal. But I remember it was late, and me and one of my guys from the south side, uh, black dude, he's like, "Let's go play." So we went up to the little court, and Kay happened to call me like, "What you doing? We're playing ball." Man, here he comes. Why him and my guy start playing ball? It was like a boxing match, G. Alright? And I was caught up in the middle, like, bro, like, yo, I was pissed off, like straight, like trying to separate them, like, man, like I'm gonna cut both of yous off, like, because it's like two different gangs, they're throwing blows.
So,
It, shit.
Domenico Colandrea asked about the infamous pic of us together, and they don't know that that was what was that? Your birthday? That was your birthday party, right? We
There's,
rented
there's
out. Uh,
there's a couple pictures of us, right?
I think the infamous one is the one where like P got the Coogee
You
sweater.
got a drink in your hand, I
Yeah,
think.
I'm in the baby blue, and someone always gets
Yeah.
that picture with.
I
We
think
won't
I don't
mention
know.
the name.
I don't know. It was one of those. Hey, Milwaukee, what's up? Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, just going through those little things with K where we go play ball. Next thing you know, we fucking, I'm worried about a fucking gang fight, a gang war, and but I still remember no matter what, like K always did what he wanted, but for sure he did respect to a point where I at the end of the game I'll be like, man, you guys gonna just promise me y'all gonna do good, like y'all gonna just shake hands and we good, they're bloodied up and they'll be like, yeah, yeah, it's all good, like yeah. So I remember all those type of
Gladiator
problems that
games.
would
Gladiator
happen in
games.
car. Yep, gladiator games for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
So
Hey, you
so
know what? Thanks. I got you, bro. Somebody said, no disrespect, but my wife. I got you, bro. No, no doubt. It is what it is, right? We all have our opinions, but I'm blessed. She's my best friend. She's a wonderful mom. It's been hard, kind of like being without her as of lately, but I'm sure she's watching TV right now.
saludos to her.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you to Ian Heslip. Yeah, for sure. I'm still young, bro. Like, I didn't finish my comment or whatever when I got cut off. Like, I know that I've got a hell of a life ahead of me. I just, in reminiscent and in memory of who's not here. That's the sad part of it because we lose parts of ourselves as we go along in this. And I'm very reflective of that, and I'd be foolish to like disregard or say that that's not a huge fixture in my life that was big part of my life that I still miss to this day. Like I got mad. I'll say that again. I got mad love for him, and you know, I'm definitely not down. I'm the most positive person, even when my back is against the wall. I'm gonna figure it out. So I appreciate the inspiration, Ian.
Mm.
Yeah, I agree,
Yeah.
bro. I agree, bro. Life ain't over. If I'm correct, I'm older than the both of y'all, and I too have been burying people since I was a kid, and I feel it's my responsibility to do all the things that they can't do. So that shit keeps
Yeah.
me
Yeah,
moving
for
forward.
sure,
No, I
man.
tell I also like not to glorify nothing or whatever, but like when I was in prison or even now when I hear people like talking shit about the trade that they're in or drug or whatever it is that they think is like some big time shit, man. Like I let me like say like this, like I'm very humble, but don't get it fucked up. Ain't that many people that's gonna get any fucking twin for that matter to come on they fucking line while they're on a live or whatever or say anything good about them positive regardless of what's transpired with us business because at the end of the day we're friends, we were family at one point, still you still are, like it just there's a deep rooted thing here that some that smells like unfinished business
Hey,
that we're trying to.
yeah, for sure. I think that we're still gonna have a chance though, Cash. You know what I'm saying? Positive thoughts. We got a lot of shit coming. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be needed some way, somehow. And just to make it real clear, first of all, yeah, the R. Kelly stories, we got a lot of those R. Kelly stories.
Do I?
Oh, he's a crybaby. Yeah,
Yo,
that's
we
enough.
got
So we'll
can
talk
I
about
do a
those.
like a specific R. Kelly story live and shit and just get everybody on? We
Yeah,
have a panel and
Oh yeah.
yeah. Well, he wasn't pissing on me. I'm gonna make it real clear.
What the only thing is we cannot have any yellow colored drinks on
Yeah.
and in no
One thing about him though, one thing I will say early on, man, having that relationship with him, he was a pimp for real. He was like
yeah.
he was everything out. I mean, we got so many stories. But that being said, I want to make it real. Like, look, Shy, I always like to keep it like straight up and keep it real. And we talk about life and a brotherhood and people you love, people you had friendships with, and you hear a comment, which all the comments are gonna be like kiddish or whatever the case is. But they ask, well, how long have me and Cash been lovers for? I had love for Cash since day one. And you guys want to put it that way, I'll take it. He's not a bad looking dude. If Val ever leaves me, you know, he's single.
Here we go.
He's single, so
see, chat.
You
You
that
know
talk
what?
shit,
Hey,
chat. You're
listen,
just gonna get
listen,
counted
guys.
back.
Listen, everybody in the chat. This guy's been this
this is
this way. He's
remember.
been this way before prison. All right. So just this is not
Nah,
unusual
I
behavior.
tell everybody one thing. I am sure of myself, man, without a doubt,
For
and
sure.
and I'm sure of myself. I'm sure about how I feel. I'm sure about who my friends are. I'm sure about who's not. I'm sure, like that's one thing that would never change. So just want to make it real clear. Big shout out to Kansas City Chiefs as well. Uh,
Chris, I
for all
got
those people in the chat, Texas in the
yeah,
house.
yeah. Jeffro still in the house, I think.
Salute to Jeffro checking in. I appreciate you, chat. Get them likes up, y'all. 44
That's what's
likes,
up.
72 concurrent viewers. We got a good crowd in here. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate Cash. Thank you. I appreciate you coming to speak with us. I appreciate Jay for kicking the door in. You guys are always welcome here. And again, anybody outside of the story that has been
Well,
affected in a negative way, you're welcome here
I'll
too.
have one last thing to say.
Absolutely no.
And this is for anybody that watches this, who's one of the brothers or whatever. Like I was the fucking mixtape king in Chicago, the king, and that's what drew the king to me, bro. That's my man. I love him. I never say anything negative about him. I love him to death. But my AKA was the mixtape king, the HNIC, the head nigga in charge. That's why I drew the type of energy and the type of people that I drew around me because I pushed that energy out there, and the people that read that was people like the Twins and K and the Cowboys and like I mean I the list goes on and on of people that I knew from the game from the street. So it's like you know, I'm very humble, but when it comes to my mixtape shit, ain't nobody fucking with me. I'm that's me, like that, and you know that ill. Nan will tell you that. Boogie will tell you that. When Boogie left the game, I took the torch. You know, like that was me. That's all me. I did
Salutes
something
to the
different
team.
with it.
Salutes to Boogie. Salutes to my brother DJ Nonstop, man. Thank you guys
Yes,
too. I
love,
appreciate
love
you.
both of them brothers. They're both of my brothers too. But you know, V Dub, Ferris, Nafitz, DJ Flipside, Julian Perez,
Absolutely.
Moondog, man, Phantom, Bulu Master, you name it. They're all like my sorority of DJ brothers. I got none but love from. And to this day, I'm able to book anybody I want because they're my friends. They're my friends that ask Twin anytime he had a party. Hey, Cash, give me a DJ. Who would I get him? A legend. I go get him Gantman. Here, hey, go mix this party, bro. you know, like
Yeah.
like they're just it's just that's what I'm into now, man. It's just booking talent, creating events, and God's blessed me for at another crack at it.
Well, I appreciate it, and again, you're always welcome to come through. I'd like to one day have a panel on, man, where we just throw everybody up on the screen and shoot the shit.
No doubt. Aurora, Illinois. What's up? My mixtapes was heavy out there in the 2000s. I flooded Aurora.
them bricks was running through there too. I bet you,
Oh
Aurora.
yeah,
I know
that
what y'all
too.
on, Aurora.
Yeah, Aurora. It goes down in the
It
Aurora.
goes down in Aurora. Again, salute
And
to the chat. Salute to the usual suspects in there. Appreciate you to all the new followers. We had some new subscribers come through while we were chatting. So salute to you guys. I saw Sean Smith. I saw Smokey Fuma. Smokey Fuma, you late, but I'm glad you're here, bro. I appreciate y'all. I thank you guys for being here. You know what I'm saying? Salutes. Cash, is there anything else that we didn't get to cover? I mean, we didn't get to talk about a lot of things, and our friend kicked in the door on us. But is there anything that you feel like we missed that you want to get off your chest or you want to speak about?
Nah, man, I'm easy go lucky. I don't hold no grudges. Man, there's one person I love in my life and I care for dearly. She knows who she is.
Salutes
I
to
don't
her.
gotta mention no names. Jay knows who she is. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my life. You know what I'm saying? I got somebody that I care about and love. And that's what I try to focus my life on. I don't really get caught up in too much of this.
Right.
Like it's great to come on here, but I got a pretty sweet life and love who I love and that's it, man. I'm grateful, and I thank everybody on here, for the love and the respect. And thanks Twin for coming on here, Uh, but
Well, yeah.
it's love, man.
Again, I
It's all
appreciate
love.
you coming and success to you and nothing but blessings to you in this next step, this next phase. I wish you nothing but the
Right.
best, nothing but the brightest.
Shout
Um,
out to DJ Ozone. Salute,
Salutes DJ
One of
Ozone,
my
my
Chicago
young
brothers.
brother.
That's a legendary DJ right there. But I'm humbled to say that when I met him, he was like, "Bro, I grew up on your mixtapes, so
Yeah,
that shit like means everything to me."
yeah, yeah. I knew Ozone.
Um,
I believed
and
Ozone was a mogul by the time he was 20. So
yes, for sure. That's one of the homies right there, bro. Shout out to Ozone and First Class B, all the first class guys in the 60647 market. That's family over there. Angel, shout out to Angel. Uh, I've been blessed to know a lot of great people in this world, bro. And I'm a Southside motherfucker. I'm saluting Northside people that
right.
know me well, that give me big ups. Thanks DJ Ozone for tuning in. Um, everyone, man, I really appreciate it. This was great for me, as emotional as it was for me to talk about things and bring up things that like hurt me or still sting me to this day. It was a good thing, because talking about it sometimes is therapy and it's necessary for mental health for men to talk about things,
Absolutely.
that's very dear to me too, is like since coming home and being riddled with anxiety, PTSD, all types of insecurities and things that go in your mind that get ingrained to you by being in prison and in the system. Mental health is really important to me, and I'm just happy. I go see somebody and talk to somebody, and these are therapy, man. I appreciate this, and I took it as therapy today to be able to talk about my journey, my life with y'all, and
Well, I
share it.
appreciate you sharing it with us, bro. I mean, for those that are here next week, Saturday, almost the same time, Saturday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, we will have JC from Wrong to Strong. He'll be here
Shout
sharing
out to
some stories.
JC. That's my brother. That's my Christian brother right there. Love him to death. He's been a good anchor for me, and somebody that I could talk to. Uh, you know, when things get rough and my faith gets thin. That's the brother that I call. Love
That's
him to
important.
death too. He's been through a lot himself, and we've been through a lot together. And that's somebody I call my brother, man.
That's what's up. That's why I say I'd like to one day, maybe, yeah, one day have just everybody on here. We'll just kick the
Yeah,
bobos.
yeah.
It'd be an old family
Maybe
reunion.
maybe next week I'm gonna
Hey, maybe you
interrupt
kick
and
in the
chime
door
in.
next week.
Yeah,
Listen,
I'll
I'm gonna
come
leave it
in.
like that. The persons that were interviewed so far was the twins and yourself. Y'all are in that private chat right there. We'll
Yeah,
be
yeah,
bringing JC in there on Saturday. If you feel like kicking the door in, kick the door
yeah,
in, bro.
yeah. It's funny you say that because I've kicked the many doors in with JC before in my lifetime. So that's
There
a
it is. We
funny
want to
thing to
talk about
say.
it.
I might just go ahead and kick his door in that day.
That's what's up. I'm with it, bro. I appreciate you. Have a great Saturday evening, bro. Thank you very much for being here, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah, love to everyone.
Salutes. Peace. All right, y'all. We did it. We did it. Great conversation. Great talk. Great chat. we got the door kicked in by Margarito J Flores. Kicked in the door real quick. Salute to y'all. Salute to DJ Ozone for popping up. Love you, brother. Hope everything's good with you. Let me go through this chat real quick. I didn't get to follow you guys much. I will be taking a read to it later on afterwards. But let me shout out the usual suspects and the people that checked in the chat today. Perfecto 777, salutes to you. Old Soul per usual. Humble Beast, JP the Ghost, Julio Cardenas, Jonathan Pantoja, usual suspects. 030 North, another one. Who else we got in here? Go Bucks, salute to you. Eddie Jimenez, 323G, usual suspects. Alfredo Mata, appreciate you being here. PR Black, per usual, appreciate you being here, sir. Eric Sawatowski, appreciate you. Thank you, sir. C. Brown, I see you. Big Worm, salutes to you. The guy Jose, salutes to you. Who else we got in here? Peter, Piotr, Hisaj, I see you. Jose Garcia, salutes. J-Fam, appreciate you, bro. Ian, per usual suspect. Upper Echelon, in the chat. Who else we got in here? Smokey Fuma, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being here, bro. El Dorado Kid 215, appreciate you for being here. Jeffro, appreciate you showing up today, sir. Thank you very much. I know Nathan Wallace was in here somewhere. Who else? HS, appreciate you being here, sir. Who else we shouting out? Nathan Wallace. Who else? Dolo Solo, appreciate you being here. Thank you. DJ 20s, appreciate you, brother. Thank you for checking in. Who else? Domenico Colandria, appreciate you. You had Jay sidetracked for a second. He was answering questions and shit. AJ214, salutes to you for being here. Papa Sun Slots, thank you for showing up. El Boxing Cano, appreciate you being here. Stories about R. Kelly. I want to do a whole R. Kelly panel. Let's talk about Kells real quick. Who else we got here? Chris Ayala, appreciate you for being here. Santana, thank you, sir. Or man, could be a man. Sean Ray, I appreciate you. Sean Ray from Ron the Strong, thank you for being here. You know your boy gonna be on here next week. Aurora in the building. Eric Anaya, appreciate you being here. And back to the brother DJ Ozone. Thank you very much, sir. Samuel Garcia, appreciate you too. Who else we got here? And that was it. If you're not subscribed, as the homie JP the Ghost said, do so now. I appreciate you guys for checking in, man. We had a good show. We had a surprise guest. We had Damien Cash telling his story. Telling parts of his story. We got some clarifications on some things that we had questions about, and you know, he answered the question, so I appreciate that. Mr. Eddie Jimenez said, bro, thanks for asking my question. Cash was going back and forth. Twin came in and saved him. Anyhow, we all saw that video interview and heard Cash. Absolutely. I mean, and I heard it too, and I was going to ask it, you know, so it is what it is. But again, answered it gracefully. Jay came in and clarified, and you know, listen, when we're talking, we take things go to, the telephone game is real. Things go the wrong way. Sometimes you're making an innocent comment, and somebody, you know, indicts you for it for the rest of your life, and it's like, it ain't always like that. Salutes to the Albanians. Piotr, appreciate you, bro. Oh, Peter's cool. Salute to Peter, the Albanian. Appreciate you. But again, man, we had a good time. We hung out. We kicked it. I appreciate you guys for being here. I was thirsty to go live all week and couldn't. There was a lot of editing to do. Again, there's still going to be some editing to do after this, but there's some things I want to cover this week, and I'm going to try to get to them. I want to cover the new indictments on Mayo. Who we got? We got Luis Gonzalez. Appreciate you for the subscription. Thank you very much. We got new indictment on Mayo for the F word. You know, that dust that turns people to dust. For that, I feel like that's throwing a stone at a giant, but whatever. I want to talk about that. There's some interviews that Jay did with some Republicans over the last couple of weeks that I want to cover. We got a couple of things.
Luis Gonzalez just subscribed on YouTube.
Salute to Luis Gonzalez. But again, I appreciate you guys for being here. Please go watch a video on this channel that you haven't watched yet. Hit the like button on it. Go watch a playlist on this channel that you haven't watched yet. Hit the like button on it. Hit the subscribe. Hit the notification so that you know what's happening with us. We have a Discord. I will put the invite right here back in the live chat right now, and I will pin it to the top. This is our Discord. I'm gonna check into the Discord after shutting everything down. Anybody wants to discuss, what happened today over the Discord, we could do that. Again, thank you to Damien Cash for coming through. Thank you to Jay Flores for coming through. Next week, we got JC from Wrong to Strong. 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll be putting up a graphic for that in the community chat today, or in the community tab today. Santana said, cover Oakland Leaks video about Nini's capture. I still have to watch that one. I saw part 1. I haven't saw part 2. I'm considering starting to cover Oakland Leaks. The only problem that I had was the language barrier, but he has English subtitles, so we might be able to get through a couple of those episodes. Again, we are backed up. We've had live shows with the twins the last 2 weekends in a row. 3 weekends now. Last 3 weekends in a row, we've had live shows with at least one of the twins. And we had Cash today. And then we got a live show next week. So we're really busy. We're really backed up, but it's all for the good. The channel's moving forward. The channel's moving up. I appreciate y'all help. Please continue to go check out videos that you haven't seen before. We have other playlists here that I will put in the chat here. Let me pin this to the top. Let me pin the Discord. Pin the Discord to the top. And I'm going to give you the rest of these playlists. Go check out a playlist that you guys have yet to check out on my channel. We got the Cartel Wives playlist. We have the Surviving El Chapo playlist, where we have interviews. We covered interviews that Cash did. As a matter of fact, some of the things that we decided to speak with him about today. I also have a true crime playlist where I shit on bad cops and dumb criminals. So go check out some of those. But we're looking for more traction. The channel is moving forward, but we always wanted to move farther and faster, because that's what we need, and that's what we need to get to. There's other guys that put in less work that are getting mad views and all of that. So I need y'all aid and assist. Also, here's a playlist on the tragic death of Zach TV1. It's a very interesting playlist because I believe that there's some gentlemen that we speak about in there that I believe the internet and their gossip and their rumors helped getting them unalived. And again, I got to speak certain ways for YouTube, but I believe that story is important, and that's why when we hear something, we challenge it here. We want to get clarity on these things, because people say things on camera, and once they're misconstrued, there's no putting the genie back in the bottle, and sometimes people get hurt over it, And I want to be responsible with this. I don't want to put nobody in a position they're uncomfortable with, to the point where somebody's life's in danger, or anything like that. I don't want to get nobody in trouble. Tell me your stories. Let's be clear on this. I'm gonna try my best to be confrontational without being disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? That's basically it. I know how to read people. I get a feeling when they're trying to talk and when they're not trying to talk. Sometimes I'm not in the mood to make them talk. Why do I want to hear what you got to say if I got to make you talk? You know what I mean? So it is what it is. It's Mini Leak. It's Mini Leak, Humble Beast. The guy that he's mentioning says it's Mini Leak's bodyguard. Yeah. So a lot of people seem to think that Oakland Leaks is Mini Leak behind the mask. Who knows? We'll go looking into that too. But I'll try to cover a couple of those things. As soon as we clear everything up. We got a lot going on. Next week, Saturday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. JC from Wrong to Strong right here. Again, shout out to everybody that was here. It was good to see DJ Ozone checking in. It's been a long time. And again, thank you to Damien Cash. Thank you to Jay Flores. I appreciate you guys for being here. To the 70 or so people that came into this live chat today, I appreciate you. Let's get them likes up on the way out if you didn't like on the way in. I'm going to leave you with the song we came in with. The song we came in with is called Success. It's a song I wrote about success, but I put success in the form of a woman. A woman, an insatiable woman that can destroy a man and make him great. Success is an unfaithful girlfriend. This is a fact. right? But if you write her off and you don't chase success, it kind of makes you a loser. So it's a double-edged sword right there, you know? She eludes you, but you chase her anyway. So that's what the song is about. There's a little insight on it. I'm going to play that record, and we're going to get out of there. Salute to Smokey Fuma. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here, sir. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, thank you very much. Perfecto, per usual. You already know. Julio Cardenas, you already know. I appreciate you all. Thank you guys for being here, and I will see you guys very soon. This week, I'll try to do a live before we get there so that we can promote JC's upcoming interview with us next week, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Don't miss it. We will be there. Thank you, guys. Y'all have a good night. Be blessed, and smoke them if you got them. I'll see y'all. Go watch a video. Go watch a video on the channel. Appreciate you. Peace.
This joint right here is for the mind. Some shit you gotta smoke to. Non-stop. As long as I remember, all I've longed for is you. You have consumed the mind of every man I ever knew. You have been my muse since that lady sang the blues. Since a baby I've been chasing what so many tend to lose. My love is unconditional, yet you refuse to choose. Projecting your rejections, leave reflections on the moon. We're doomed, trapped beneath the shadow in a battle with the tomb. My flesh was taken from me when the needle touched the spoon. Addicted to your vindictiveness, conscious of where the pistol is. This lust is so ridiculous, complicated and intricate. Love is insignificant, the way that you diminish it. Hearts upon platters, jab the knife in it and finish it. The words you use when whispering, no truth in it, just moving lips. An ocean full of sinking ships, hypnosis when you wave your hips. This is just too dangerous to play with this crazy bitch will wrap you around her finger, make it yours and have you chasing it. I'm in love to hate you, that's just what you make. You just push me till I break, pull me close to make me chase you. So close that I could taste you, face you, touch you, break you, love you. We've been cursed to want you one way or the next. Alive or dead, we're forced to let go. I'm in love to hate you, that's just what you make. You just push me till I break, pull me close to make me chase you. So close that I could taste you, face you, touch you, break you, love you. We've been cursed to want you one way or the next. Alive or dead, we're forced to let go. She gon' take your whole life if you don't read between those lines. One hint of inconsistency and she'll be gone a long time. To get her back's a bitter bitch. See, she got her own mind. Not one for commitment, cut you quick, don't cross the drawn line. Read the fine print, your mind slip. She'll get you with the slow wine. A game slip, you lose your shit. She'll get you in your gold mine. Don't hate her, it's her nature. You ain't shit if you don't chase her. She won't stay if you don't make her. You want her, you can't shake her. She okay with or without you. Success don't care for your pain. No sympathy or compassion. You earn it no other way. You get it or let it go. Chase after it or you don't. Failure isn't an option. Without her, your life's a joke. May as well start digging and just call into the hole. If you're not ready for rejection or learn not to take a no, it's over for your soul. Your chances all been blown. No one had to help you. You did it on your own. I'm in love to hate you. That's just what you make. You just push me till I break. Pull me close to make me chase you. So close that I can taste you, face you, touch you, break you, love you. We've been cursed to want you one way or the next. Alive or dead, we're forced to let go. I'm in love to hate you. That's just what you make. You just push me till I break. Pull me close to make me chase you. So close that I can taste you, face you, touch you, break you, love you. We've been cursed to want you one way or the next. Alive or dead, we're forced to let go of you. Exclusive, so envying is useless. That jealousy is ugly. The smell of it is putrid. She find it unattractive. You gon' end up on the boot list, begging for forgiveness, but she won't see through you stupid. She has seen it all before she understand the blueprint. Well versed in every line of lies from soapbox to the pulpit. She's yours if you could keep her. Enough with all the bullshit. Excuses ain't about nothing. Take much more than that to pull this. There's evil men just waiting around to fill your chest with bullets. Solely over this woman, she'll make you out as the villain. Take you out for a killing, cause men that love her are willing to open you up and overflow that cup with the blood that you're spilling. Mind your step, dodge regret, follow your gut when you feel it. You control the whip, both hands on the wheel when you steer it. I hope you hear it, or you gon' give a body your spirit. You give your last breath to just get near it.
Hershio Herrera just subscribed on YouTube.
You just push me till I break, pull me close you, face you, touch you, break you, love you. We've been cursed to want you one way or the next. Alive or dead, we're forced to let go or to hate you. That's just what you make. You just push me till I break. Pull me close to make me chase you. So close that I can taste you, face you, touch you, break you, love you. We've been cursed to want you one way